To know about the reincarnation trap, as they call it, even more, you want to get this book. If you want to know about the prison planet theory even more, you want to get this book. If you want to know more about the adversary, that you, that you face every day, you want to get this book. This book details in great detail everything you need to know about these topics. Now, there are millions of people, starting off with, there are millions of people who are Christians who state that God is good. Millions of people who believe in Allah, who say that Allah is good. However, we all know that when you look through numerous passages in the Bible, you can find numerous accounts of God dishing out divine punishment through genocide, plagues, ethnic cleansing, and the like. Yet you'll have Christians and those who believe in other religions related to a God, specifically Christians though, they will claim that the Bible is the true word of God. However, if the Bible is the true word of God, what that means is that God fully supports infanticide, slavery, torture, genocide, all manners of death, destruction, suffering, and rape. I laughed at what comedian Ari Spears once said when he said, black churches and pastors have this saying. And what he said that black churches and pastors say is exactly what I am saying as well. You go to a black African American church, and a lot of times you can go to the white churches, and you'll have the pastor get in the pulpit and he'll say, God is good, amen. And the church members will say, all the time. Well, that is the biggest load of crock that there has ever been. God is good all the time. God is good all the time? No, he's not. During the Holocaust, when hundreds of innocent Jews were brutally tortured and unalive, with some of them praying to God to help them, was God good all that time? Every single day of the Holocaust, was he good? How about during slavery? The 400 years of slavery, whereas white slave masters were praying to God for God to help them in brutally enslaving blacks. And blacks at the same time would pray to God asking to be delivered from slavery. Yet God ignored the prayers of the slaves and answered the prayers of the slave masters repeatedly. Was God good every single day of the entire time of slavery? How about 9/11? When hundreds of people who died jumping out of windows on fire because they were scared, was God good all that time too? Or how about the countless children who are at St. Jude's Hospital right now, suffering in anguish and pain as cancer ravages their insides? Is God good all the time then too? Well, the answer is no, he is not. In fact, an amazing example of how God is not good all the time or any time is the Sutherland Springs, Texas church shooting. For those who live in Texas, you may remember that shooting. 26 people were unalived and 26 people were wounded. That happened as Christians were in God's house. Now, churches are supposed to be a place that's a safe haven under God. So you would think that because of that being the case, you would think that God's own Christians would be protected there, but they weren't. In fact, God, who supposedly sees everything, He sat back and saw the entire shooting happen and did absolutely nothing. That's the type of God Christians serve. Now, God can supposedly cure all ailments, diseases, and illnesses by invoking miracles. Yet, God chooses not to. In the Bible, Jesus uses his alleged power to cure a leper victim, but he fails to eliminate leprosy altogether. He will feed 5,000 with bread and fish, but he won't eliminate starvation and hunger completely. He'll make a blind man see, but leave countless others still blind. Why is this? Well, why is because the God of the Bible and his supposed alter ego, Jesus, as well as his other arch enemy, well, his arch enemy, Lucifer, they're all the same entity. They're all the same deity. And they all have one main name. And that main name is Enki. But now, don't get me wrong. Enki has many names. He is 100% evil. That is a given. And so let's go into who Enki is. Enki, for those who don't know, who do not know, Enki is an Anunnaki reptilian. And he is a Sumerian, and he's a Mesopotamian god. He is the god of creation. I will repeat, he is the God of creation. He is the God of wisdom, knowledge, fresh water, and magic. Enki is also an amphibian. And he is the son of Anu, who is the king of the gods. And Anu is the head of the Anunnaki. Now, Enki has a brother named Enlil. And for those who don't know, Enki and Enlil have long had a rivalry against each other. They are the Cain and Abel of their day. And they have long been in a battle over who's going to be the one in control next in line under Anu. That's what they've been fighting for, battling over for a long time. Now, Enki has multiple personalities. This is why he has numerous names. Enki is also certifiable, as in certifiably insane. He is not a benevolent god like a few people seem to think. He is very malevolent. He is the one who genetically engineered humans after the Great Deluge. For those who don't know what deluge is, it is a flood. Now, contrary to popular belief, none of the Anunnaki care about humans. Not Anu, not Enki, not Enki's son Marduk, not Enlil, not one Anunnaki cares at all about humans. But now, since we mentioned Enlil, let's go over to him before we get back to Enki. Enlil, now, let me state, Enki genetically engineered humans. Enki was involved in that as well. Enlil was involved in that as well. Enki genetically engineered humans, and Enlil was involved in the process as well. Because Enlil wanted humans to come into existence just so the humans could do laborious work for him and the rest of his Anunnaki clan and all of those with the Anunnaki clan. That was the only reason why he wanted humans to come into existence. He saw humans as labor slaves for him and the rest of the Anunnaki. However, according to the Epic of Gilgamesh, humans became too problemsome for Enlil, and he became annoyed by the commotion created by the growing population of humans. On top of the fact that Enlil was angered by humans procreating with the gods. Oh, he couldn't have that. No, he didn't want that. So what Enlil decided to do was he decided to flood the earth and kill off all the humans. Now, what Enki did was he decided to save some of the humans from dying in the flood. This angered Enlil because Enlil wanted all humans to die, period. How dare Enki save some of the people that he wanted all to die? So Enlil was angry and he was furious. And Enlil swore he would never forgive Enki for saving some of the humans. And to this day, Enki and Enlil have been at each other's throats ever since. Now, people who have heard what Enki did, saving some of the people from the flood. I've seen it on BitChute. I've seen it on YouTube. They have said, well, because Enki saved humans, he's the good guy. Enlil's the one that's the bad guy. As a matter of fact, Enki was the one who told Adam and Eve to eat from the tree because he wanted them to have knowledge. Enki's good. Wrong. That is unequivocally false. No matter what researcher on the reincarnation trap, prison planet theory says, it is wrong. You'll have some prison planet reincarnation trap theory researchers say, oh, Enki really loves us. Enki did this for our good. That is a lie. Enki saved some of the humans from the flood because he knew of the sinister agenda that he had in his plans down the line. And saving some of the humans from the flood for his agenda, he felt, still does feel, it will catapult him to be the one in control underneath Anu instead of Enlil being the one in control underneath Anu. This is why he saved some of the humans from the flood. So that he can use some of the humans in his battle, in his fight to gain control under Anu instead of Enlil being in control under Anu. Neither Enlil nor Enki cares about humans at all. Both are malevolent, and so is their daddy, Anu. Choosing between Enki and Enlil is like choosing between Hitler and Stalin. Hitler was bad, but Stalin was way worse. The choice between Enki and Enlil is like choosing between AIDS and cancer. Neither Enki nor Enlil nor Anu care or love or like humans, and they never will. However, in between Enki and Enlil, Enki is the one that's more evil and more malevolent. Enki has mental issues. He has, as I stated earlier, split personalities, and each personality he has a name. One of the names is God. One of the names is Lucifer. Another one you all may know of, Yaldabaoth. Another one you may know of, the Demiurge. He's Enki. He's Ninsiku. He's Nisaku. That's another name of his. He's Allah. He's Yahweh. He's Yahweh ben Yahweh. He's Poseidon. He's also Sackless. Those are just some of the names. He has hundreds of other names. Hundreds of other names. He's the bright and morning star. He's the King of Kings. So, by Enki saving humans from the flood, he considers all of us, past, present, and future, his property. And he considers himself as our father, the creator of us. Now, let's go on to the two names that he's also known by, the Demiurge and Yaldabaoth. And people may ask, who is the Demiurge and Yaldabaoth? Well, the Demiurge is a false creator god. And he is Enki, so that means Enki is a false creator god. But we're going by the name that he goes by, one of the names he goes by, the Demiurge. The Demiurge is a false creator god, and he's jealous. He's violent. He's angry, and he's psychopathic. Now, when I say he's a false creator god, yes, Enki did create humans. Yes, he did. But then at the same time, he didn't create humans. He created us, but then he didn't create us. So you have to understand that he created us and the fact that he genetically engineered us. But he considers, scratch the genetically engineered, he considers him creating us, period. Just without the genetic engineering, he just created us. This is how he feels in his mind. Especially after saving us from the flood, that's how he feels in his mind. This is what I mean when I say he's a false creator god. Because number one, he really didn't, no, scratch that. Number two, he really didn't create us, because before we were put into bodies, had already existed. We were light beings. We were divine sparks already in the universe. So he didn't create us. He just put us in bodies through genetic engineering. But in his mind, he created us, period. And he didn't, because he cannot create something that was already in existence from the get-go. We were already in existence from the get-go as what is called divine sparks, or what I like to use, Isbies. And he took us Isbies and put us in the bodies through genetic engineering. But hear him tell it, he created us completely without genetic engineering. We never existed before him. This is what I mean when I say he's a false creator god. The Demiurge is insane. Now, you think about serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, the Night Stalker. They have nothing on the Demiurge. The Demiurge has an insanity, whereas he will take a baby's head, an infant's head, rip it off his shoulders and eat it raw. That's the type of insanity that the Demiurge, aka Enki, has. He is beyond insane. He is the type of crazy that you can't even imagine. No horror film can ever even bring into light. That's the type of demented creature he is. Okay? The Demiurge is the one who is talked about in the Old Testament. God. That's the Demiurge. Because if you look at the Bible, the God of the Old Testament is wrathful. He's jealous. He's angry. And he's insane. He is insane. A lot of the things that he tells his people to do is insane. That's the Demiurge. The Demiurge is the God of the Old Testament. This world that we live in, he created this world. He calls it the material world, which it is. Because everything in this world is made up of materials. Your house, your car, your money, your clothes, your food. They are materials. They are physical materials. This is the material world. He created this material world. Why? Well, he created it because once he put us Isbies into bodies, well, he has to have the bodies to live somewhere. Where are they going to live? They're going to live in the world I create for them. Number one, why did he put us in material bodies? I mean, physical bodies. Why did he do that? Well, going back, Enlil wanted it done as well as in agreement with Enki, so the Demiurge, so that they can have slaves. But then why did he save us from the flood? Because once he saved us from the flood, he can put us in that created material world of his. And while we're waiting to be used for his agenda, he can feed off of us. How is he able to feed off of us? Off of something called loose energy. I will get into that in a few minutes. But this is why he wanted us and put us in the material world. In a world where we are locked in this world, where 24/7 we are fed off of by him, the demiurge, aka Enki, and everyone with him, in something called loose energy. Okay? Just as Morpheus said in the film The Matrix, we are the batteries, and Enki, the demiurge, and those working with him, they are the chargers. We give them their charge via loose energy. This material world we live in, it is a simulated realm, and I'll get into what that means in a few minutes, but it is a simulated realm, whereas we, Isbies, we cannot leave unless through death. And even after death, we can't leave unless we have awareness. But I'll explain what that means in a few minutes. Now, the demiurge, who I stated as again is Enki, he is, for those who will think, oh, he's just this being, anybody could beat the hell out of him and be done with it. No. The demiurge is powerfully strong, more stronger than any muscle, weight, bodybuilding man or woman you've ever seen. He is powerfully strong. And with his strength and all of his power, because he has power, and with him putting us in this material world, what he has done is he has cut us all off from our higher spiritual power and origins. And we do have spiritual powers and origins. He has cut us off from that. And his main goal is to limit our true potential as Isbies. Now, he has legions of entities working with him. They're called archons. In Christianity, they're called demons. In the Muslim world, they're called jinn. But we're going to call them what they are, archons. And these archons are second order beings under the demiurge. These archons, they definitely, now Enki, the demiurge, hates humans, but the archons definitely hate humans, because the archons, they lack the divine spark, the divine light that we Isbies have. See, we have a light within us, and that light, it is us. Howdy Mikowski calls it the divine spark, and that's what it's a divine spark. It's a light. We are the light. We are the true, pure light. They don't have that. We have the power to create, and they don't. They have no power to create like we can. The reason why they don't have the power to create is because these archons were not created from source consciousness, which is the true universe. These archons are outside of the natural order of the universe. Just like a lot of the malevolent draconians and the reptilians, the archons, they do the bidding for the demiurge. Now, before I get any further, let me just state this. With the draconians and reptilians, unlike the Anunnaki, which are all evil, you have a lot of draconians and reptilians. Well, I don't know about the reptilians, but I know with the draconians, you have a lot of them that are working for good and a lot of them that are working for evil. So it's half and half with the draconians. As far as I have researched with the reptilians, all the reptilians are evil. Every last one of them are evil. But with the draconians, it's some are good, some are bad. The ones that are bad are working with Enki and the archons. All the archons are bad. There's no good archons out there. There are no good Anunnaki beings out there. They're all malevolent to humans. So I just wanted to state that when I say the draconians, I'm not talking about all the draconians, because you have some good draconians out there. I'm talking about the bad ones. When I'm mentioning the reptilians, I mean all the reptilians. Okay? So just like the draconians and the reptilians, the archons, they work for the demiurge. Now, you've heard a lot of people in the reincarnation trap, as they call it, the prison planet theory circles, and even those in the New Age community, they mention spirit guides and ascended masters and angels. Let me state this right now. All of that is a bunch of bullshit. And I can speak like this because I'm on my own channel. That is absolute bullshit. There is no such thing as ascended masters, angels. Well, they are. No, they're real. Let me correct that. They're real, but they're not what you think they are. All ascended masters are archons. Every single one. I don't care how nice they are. I don't care if they sit you down at the table and you all eat PB&J sandwiches together. They're all archons. The same thing goes with angels. All angels are archons. All spirit guides are archons. They are archons in disguise to make you think, hey, I'm on your side. Come with me. You go with them, you're going into the light of reincarnation. They're all fake. They're all fake. These archons, on top of all of this, they are parasites. And if you think the demiurge is evil, the archons are just as evil. The archons are just as evil, just as cruel, and just as psychotic as the demiurge. Now, going back, what is loose energy? Well, let's understand this first of all. Humans, ISBs, and human bodies. I'm not talking about NPCs, because you have a lot of people out here who are NPCs. They are just background players. They're just there to, if you're at a mall somewhere, the background players, the background people are in the background just to fill out the scene of the mall. I'm talking about ISBs who are inside of human bodies living right now. Every ISB inside of a human being, every ISB inside of a human body right now is able to emit loose energy. Loose energy is a hyper-dimensional spiritual energy that is emitted from a human's ISB when the human ISB is traumatized, or when the human ISB experiences intense emotional and or physical pain. Loose energy is inside every living and non-living thing, including animals. Every time you see that crab or that lobster crawling out of the pot because they're in pain that crab or that lobster is feeling is an emittance of loose energy. Yeah. So whenever you're depressed, angry, sad, you're feeling loneliness, when you're fearful, worried, you're emitting loose energy that Enki, the demiurge, and his archons and the reptilians and draconians, they feed off of, because that's their food. Just like our human containers, bodies, we can't survive and live without food, apples, bananas, oatmeal, cereal. Well, Enki, draconians, reptilians, and archons, they cannot survive without eating, feeding off of loose energy that humans have and emit. Loose energy also comes from people being racist against each other. Blacks versus whites, whites versus blacks, Jews versus whites, and this versus that, race, color. They are the archons, the draconians, the reptilians, and Enki. They feed off of that, which is why puppets in control under Enki, Lucifer, the demiurge, the same puppets who are in the worldwide governments, this is why they keep people fighting and divided over race. Because when people enact racist behavior, mentalities, and ideologies, they're emitting loose energy for Enki and, I'm going to say, his crew, which is the archons, the draconians, and the reptilians. Enki and his crew. They feed off of that. Loose energy is also emitted through violence and hatred. Along with and under the instruction, approval, and control of the demiurge, the archons also created every religion on this earth, including Christianity. My apologies, Christians, they did. And the archons, under the approval of Enki, created these religions just as an additional way to get loose energy. Because every time you go to church, every time you sing that gospel song, every time you run through the church like you have ants in your pants, or like you may be Dominic Dawes at the Olympics and doing the backflips, every time you do that, the running man and all that in the name of the Holy Ghost, every time you do all of that, what you're doing is you are emitting loose energy, because you are worshiping a religion that Enki created. And when you worship a religion that he created, you're releasing that loose energy, because that's his. It's connected to him. And so with you worshiping something that is connected to him, loose energy is going to go from you to him. And Muslims, you're not off the hook. Every time you get into the mosque and you get on your knees and loose energy. Jews, you're not off the hook. The same thing. Satanists, you go to do the satanic mass, loose energy. Judaism, Hinduism, I believe Buddhism is a Namyo Renge-Kyo. Every time you do all of that, what you're doing is you're emitting the loose energy, because all of those religions Enki created. Mormonism, Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witness, Amish religion. As much as I love the Amish, because they down there in North Carolina, people needed help, and they ran down there and they helped the people in North Carolina. They're the most sweetest people, but they are worshiping a religion that came from Enki. They are deceived too. So this is why Enki created these religions, so that once you participate in these religions, loose energy is extracted, which he and his crew feeds off of. They get stronger and you get weaker. You will find out that you get weaker once you cross over to the afterlife, but I will get to that in a few minutes. But so, the demiurge and the archons had their earthly puppets, the Vatican, the Catholic Church, to write and create the Bible and the Quran, to further lure people into practicing these religions. This is why the Bible speaks of things like rape and jealousy and violence and the condoning of slavery and so many atrocities, because that Bible was conspired by Enki, the most insane bastard there ever was. And so Enki is a demiurge. The demiurge is insane. He is demented. And that Bible speaks of demented, insane things, because that's the story of the demiurge, a demented, vile, decrepit creature. So, now, also, ego. Every person has an ego. When you find people saying, I know I am the most handsome man that is, I am, oh, look at me. You get in front of the mirror, you men, oh, I am so handsome. I am the most, oh, I'm handsome. That's vanity, which is part of your ego. There's nothing wrong with having good self-esteem about yourself. But when, oh my God, I am more beautiful than anybody, that's ego. And when you exhibit that egotistical behavior, what happens? Loose energy comes right on out, and it goes right into Enki and his crew's mouths. Egos. Also, what's a part of the ego is pride, lust, envy, greed, gluttony, stealing anything and everything. All of that is a part of the ego as well. There's nothing wrong with saying, he's a fine-looking man, or she's a fine-looking woman, or what have you, or, God, they're good-looking. But when you're, I like to screw him or her, that's lust. You're lusting after another Isby. That is a feeling and emotion that comes from the demiurge. From the demiurge. So that when you exhibit that emotion, loose energy comes out of you. Gluttony. You have people, and there's nothing wrong, I'm not attacking body figures, but you have people eating for breakfast, they'll have I mean, they'll have a breakfast with 10, 15 eggs, 6 or 7 sausages, 12 pieces of bacon. Then for lunch, they may have 4 or 5 sandwiches. Then for dinner, they're having lasagna, 8-piece fried chicken, and that's gluttony. All that comes from Enki, the demiurge. Because gluttony is insane. I mean, if anybody who would see someone eating like that, you gotta be out of your mind. Exactly. You have to be out of your mind. That's exactly what the demiurge is, out of his mind. That's where it comes from. Now, happiness doesn't come from Enki. Being positive-minded doesn't come from Enki, because being happy and positive-minded, those are all sane emotions. And Enki is not sane. He is insane. So everything that is insane comes from him. If you see a man going down the street and you don't know him from Adam and Eve, and you say, God, excuse my language, everyone, I like to fuck him. God, I like to fuck him. I wonder what it'd be like to fuck him. People think, must be upstairs. You don't even know him. Something's wrong upstairs. Exactly. That's how Enki is. Something is wrong upstairs. All the things that doesn't make sense comes from Enki. All of it. Greed. I want all the money. I don't care how I get it. I just want money everywhere. And I may have a 5-bedroom house and 3 cars, but I want more. How could you want more? I don't think he's wrapped too tight upstairs. Exactly. Enki's not wrapped too tight upstairs. The demiurge is not wrapped too tight upstairs. Everything that makes Enki insane, those are the emotions that he feeds off of, that people exhibit. All the emotions that make people think must not be wrapped too tight upstairs. Those are the emotions that emits loose energy, which Enki feeds off of. So that's loose energy. Now, the reincarnation trick. And I call it a trick. People call it a trap. It's not a trap. We are not trapped here. We didn't choose to come here either. Because no one would choose to come here. I see a lot of reincarnation trap, prison planet, and that's what they call it, the reincarnation trap. Prison planet theory researchers, New Age researchers. Oh, we chose to come here. This is us having a human experience. No, it's not. It's us having a tricked experience. We did not choose to come here. How can you tell me what I chose? You didn't even know me back then. But this is the lie that's being pushed. Perhaps this is why a lot of people don't want me on their podcast, because they're afraid of me telling these truths. See, because no one else, it seems, is telling these truths. They're telling you lies. Oh, this is us having a human experience. We chose to come here, but let's not do it again. No, let's not do what again? I didn't choose a damn thing. I didn't choose to come here. I was tricked. And now that I'm here, I am not trapped. Because at any time, anyone, which I don't condone this, and I'm not telling anyone to do this, but at any time, anyone can say, you know what? I'm done with this life. I'm ending it. And they can leave. And if they have all the awareness of the reincarnation trick, they can actually leave completely out of this prison realm and all the realms connected to it. So it's not a trap. Because we are not trapped here, but it is a trick. All Isbies who has ever been, who is, and who will ever be, as long as this simulation is going on, in human bodies, were tricked, are tricked to come here. They are told lies that makes them want to come here. It's a trick. It's a lie. We were deceived into coming here. We did not choose to come here, because if we chose to come here, that means we would have been told from day one, when we stood in front of Enki and his archons, look, you go down there, you're going to suffer, you got to pay bills. You're going to see people around you die. It's going to be nothing but suffering. It's hell down there. Oh shit, I want to go to that realm. Don't sign me up. We would have all signed. But this is why we weren't told that truth. He would never tell us that, because he know if knows if he had told us, if he had told us that, we would have never agreed to come down here. But he tricked us with lies. You have a mission. Oh my God. Samantha, your mission is so important. Joe, your mission is so, Will, Matthew, oh my God, your mission is so important. Wes, your mission is important. You have to do this. This is your purpose. Please. Oh, we were told lies. All types of lies. Oh man. You did a lot of bad things. I don't know if you're going to make it into the pearly gates like this. Oh no, what? Well, if you don't want to go to hell, you're going to have to go down there and fix, because you did a lot of bad things. You got to right the wrongs you did down there. You didn't learn all your lessons. So you're going to have to go back there until you learn your lessons. We were tricked with lies. So anyone who tells you that we are having a human experience down here, we're not having a human experience. We are having a tricked experience. Because number one, how can we have a human experience down here? How can we have a human experience? These bodies are dead. If you take the ISB out of the body doesn't work anymore. No, this is not a human body. This is a dead body that's being controlled by ISBs. I don't even call this a human body. I don't really like, and if I said the word humans in the beginning, let me scratch that out. We're not humans. We are ISBs inside of meat suits. Let me put it that way. We're ISBs inside of meat suits. Take the ISB out of the meat suit doesn't work anymore. So we are not having a human experience because these bodies are not human bodies. These are nothing but dead shells. So we are having a tricked experience inside of dead shells. That's what it is. We are dead. We're inside of dead shells having a tricked experience of life. And anyone who tells you that we chose to come down here, they are lying. I don't care who it is, black, white, man, they're telling a lie. We did not choose to come down here. We were tricked into coming down here. Now, so who is behind the reincarnation trick is the demiurge, Enki, and his archons. And we've all heard, we've seen the movie Poltergeist. Caroline, don't go into the light. Don't go into the light, Caroline. Oh, we've heard all of that, right? And we've seen the movies where they're showing the light. Patrick Swayze, by Demi Moore, whatever the character's name was in the movie, and he's going into the light. Oh my God, this was so... All of that is hogwash. It's hogwash, people. Christians are told if you're good, to go to heaven. If you're bad, you'll go to hell. Some who have had near-death experiences have seen the white light. Oh, I saw the white light. I saw the tunnel of light. I saw the angels and the Messiah. Actor Dudley Moore said when on his deathbed, he could hear the music all around him. All of that is a part of the trick to get you to agree to go into the light, to go with whomever you're seeing in front of you on your deathbed. So people who are on their deathbed or even near-death experiences, they'll see the angels, the Messiah, passed on loved ones in the midst of the light, or sometimes they'll see a white tunnel light. Now, sometimes they might not even see a light at all. They'll just see the people there. They'll see the Messiah, the angels. All of it is a trick. See, that's the thing. The religious Messiah, the angels, the passed on loved ones, all of it. If you see a light, and even if you don't see a light, and you still see those figures, they're all illusions to get you to agree to go into that white light. Once you follow those angels, those loved ones, that Messiah into that light, or just go with them, period. Once you go with them, you'll be shown what is called a life review. A life review. Now, you heard people say many times, oh, I almost died, and when I almost died, I saw my life flash before my eyes. That's exactly how the life review will be. You'll see your life before your eyes, but it will be 360 degree vision images of your life. Except it won't be your life that you're seeing. Those images that you see, that you're being told is your life, that's not your life. That's the life of someone else. It'll be like, you see the life review and you're thinking you'll see how you saved the bunny or how you married your husband or wife, and for some people it may start off like that. For some people it may start off like that, and for others they may not see that at all. For some people, they'll just see automatically nothing but images of all the bad things they supposedly did. They robbed a bank. They sexually assaulted someone. They unalived someone. They went ahead and broke into people's houses. They were beating up on their parents. They'll see that. Then for others, they may start off with seeing all the good things that they supposedly did, then all the bad things that they supposedly did. That's the life review. When you start seeing all the bad things that you supposedly did, or when you do see it, period, all the bad things that you supposedly did, at that moment, while you're seeing those things, you are going to, because Enki has, I'm telling you, Enki has powers. Enki is going to manipulate and brainwash you telepathically to make you believe that what you're seeing is what you actually did. Let me give you an example. In my novel, I have a scene where a character has a life review, and he's seeing, first he starts off seeing all the good things. He got married, he had a baby, he had a son. Then he starts seeing all the bad things that he supposedly did. Robbed the bank, beat the hell out of his children, cursing his mother out, fuck you mom, fuck you dad, and all of this. He's seeing all of these bad things. He didn't do these things. But yet in those images, there he is. And at the moment that he's seeing these images, he is being telepathically manipulated and brainwashed to believe that what he's seeing is actually him. So when he sees it, he's like, oh my God, I was horrible. You didn't do these things. But he believes he did because Enki is brainwashing him through the powers Enki has. He's brainwashing you to believe, oh my God, look what I did. He's brainwashing you. Why does he do this? He does this so that you will believe that, no, let me backtrack. After you see that you've done these bad things, this is what he'll probably say. I'm going to use the character. I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to use a name of the person that inspired this character. Matthew did all these bad things. You raped, you robbed, you unalived people. I don't know if you ever heard it or not, but there's something called karmic debt. It's karma, and you've incurred a lot of it. With all the bad things that you've done, you have accumulated up a lot of karma, and you got to pay that back before you get to the pearly gates, man. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. And Matthew is standing there. I can't believe, no. Well, what happens if I don't pay it back? Well, then you're going to go to hell. I mean, there's no way around it. No, I don't want to know. No. Okay, well, look, Matthew, calm down. Here's what we can do. If you don't want to go to hell, the only way to pay back this karmic debt, you got to go back down there. Down where? You got to go back down and reincarnate back to earth. Man, I don't want to do, no. But you have to. Because look at all this karmic debt that you have accumulated. Somebody's got to pay this back. Look, you go back down there, we're going to put you on a mission. It's going to be a mission that only you can fulfill. And this is how you can pay back the karmic debt. And Matthew will feel so guilty because of these clips. Okay, all right, okay. Well, this is what I have to do to escape hell. I'll do it. Gets reincarnated. But not right away. I'm getting to that. But he's signed up for reincarnation. The life review that you see will not be your own life. It will be the life of someone else to make you feel guilty and to make you believe that you have incurred karmic debt that you and you alone must pay back by reincarnating back down to earth. And again, the demiurge Enki may tell you that you have a mission to fulfill. All of that is baloney. It's baloney. Now, once you agree to reincarnate, you thinking, okay, that's it. I'm going to reincarnate right then and there. They're going to shoot me back into a baby body. That's it. Nope, you're wrong. Because once you agree to reincarnate, then that's when you're taken to a realm to await reincarnation. And you think this realm is heavenly and pearly gates and oh, my God is an awesome God. No, something like that. No. This is a hellish realm. It is a hellish afterlife prison realm. You think down here is bad. Oh, wait till you get there, the Summerland. I call it the Summerland because the Summerland, according to Wicca and Wiccans, and a few witches I've been told believes this as well, that the Summerland is a place in the afterlife that is believed to be a resting place for souls, isbis, between incarnations. So it's the place that you go to before you get reincarnated. So this is why I call that realm, this hellish afterlife realm, which isbis will go to before they get reincarnated. This is why I call it the Summerland. Now, this hellish afterlife realm called the Summerland, where you will go while awaiting reincarnation, it looks very similar to here. You know, here you have houses and cars and buildings and all that, and parks and houses. Well, the houses. That's exactly how it is in this hellish afterlife realm. You have bars and stores and parks and houses and buildings and even cars. And it's just like here, sky, trees, all of that. And when the Isbi arrives there, they are met by beings who are called counselors. And these counselors tell these Isbis that these Isbis will remain in this realm for many years before reincarnating down to earth. Now, in this realm, they are not allowed to leave this realm. If they try to leave this realm, they will be dramatically punished. This is what is noted in my novel. When I put it in my novel, I got it even in a more cinematic, dramatic way so you can really see exactly what I mean with examples. But you are not allowed to leave the realm. In this realm, Isbis, they have to get a job. Because if they want to have a place to stay while in this realm, it takes money. They have to work to get the money. They have to buy food, pump the brakes. You say food, but they're dead. Spirits don't eat. Exactly. You would think that, right? But see, what you don't realize is that in this realm, Enki and his archons, along with his little other crew members, draconians, reptilians, they have made it so that hunger exists within this realm. You will get hungry in this realm. You're going to want food. You're going to have to work for it. And they, 9 to 5 here, they work long hours there in that realm. Long hours. Hard labor. Extremely hard labor. In that realm, physical pain exists for all Isbis. Physical sensations exist for all Isbis in that realm. So you would think, well, I'm outside the body. I don't have no more pain. No, not in that realm. In that realm, if you get beaten up by any other Isbi there or by one of Enki's crew, you will feel every hit, punch, kick, stab, all of it. And he has made it so that physical pain exists among the Isbis there, as well as physical sensations. Now, it can feel different because the astral body is much lighter. The astral Isbi body is much lighter than the dense physical body. But if you get beaten up while in that realm, you will suffer significant injuries. And you will feel very much pain there from those injuries. And the thing is, when you're feeling that pain, you're going to wish to die, but you're already dead. You're already dead in the physical form. Your Isby will remain alive, just feeling the pain. Now, in that realm, the Summerland, you see all types of depravity. You see brutal, violent, bloody fights between people, dogs biting the heads off of other dogs, tearing the skin and the fur and the hair off of other dogs' flesh, blood splat. You'll see all of that. You'll see, you're talking about, for those who have, because thank the gods I have never and never will, because that's part of loose energy too. But for those who have watched porn and have seen graphic sex scenes, you think that's something up there? They have the most twisted, occultic-like sex that you've never seen. And there's nothing fascinating or enjoying about that. It's the type of sex that's painful with blood. They're covered in blood. All the types of... It's the most depraved things you can't even imagine up in that realm, unless you've seen it. And they have this in the streets. They have these in the alleys. And once every few days, they have what's called an energy harvesting ritual, where Enki and his crew will have the Isbys. If you don't attack other Isbys and attack them with brutal, bloody force, you're going to get punished. Why does Enki do this to the people up there? Because when these Isbys do that, see, even though these Isbys are outside of the body, they're still able to have loose energy taken from them. So every now and then, when Enki wants his fill of loose energy, and he gets it from the people already down here, but if he wants it from the people up there, you all must fight each other to bloody death. And of course, it's not any death. They'll die and they'll come back to, they'll, like, let me use for example. Up there in that realm, you can push a Isby in front of a car. The car will hit them. Their blood and guts and brains and all that. You may think, what? Spirits don't have that, but up there they do. They'll get smashed and splattered to bloody pieces. And then after a few seconds, maybe about a minute, those pieces will come back together, the Isby, and will form one whole Isby again, and they'll repeat the same process. Yeah, that's the type of realm it is. So Enki will make other Isbys fight each other to the bloody temporary death over and over and over again every few days so that he can get the loose energy from them doing that. Energy harvesting ritual. I have that shown in my novel. Isbys are mandated to attend what is called regular sessions, in which they are told about life mistakes and the creation of karmic debt. These are mandatory. They can't say, oh, I don't want to go to the session. No, you have to go. If you don't go, you're going to get punished. You have to go. The entire realm is controlled and operated by not only Enki, as I've stated, and his archons, but there are also other Isbys that are there as well, who are what is called astro law enforcement officers. And a lot of these Isbys who are astro law enforcement officers, they don't want to be that, but they're being forced to. They're being forced to work for Enki to make sure that everyone follows the law of Enki. And if they don't, if every Isby does not follow the law of Enki, those astral projection law enforcement officers will enact punishment. The astral law enforcement officers are made up of Isbys and Draconians and Reptilians. Now, this entire realm is under a brutal form of martial law. You think that martial law is bad down, well, we're not under martial law now, but you think the dictatorship is bad down here. Up there, it's 5 million times worse up there. There is absolutely significantly less freedom up in that realm than we have down here. Now, no one in that realm is to question the Archon hierarchy or Enki, and if they do, they will get punished. The abilities that the Isbi have, let me state this, in that realm, the Summerland, if the Isbis wanted to, they can leave that realm at any time. They're forbidden from leaving, but if they said, well, excuse my language, fuck, they're forbidding, I'm going to leave anyway. If they wanted to, they could, but they don't. Why they don't is because the minute that any Isbi, hell, scratch the minute, the second any Isbi tries to use their ability to leave, here comes the astral law enforcement coming in to beat the hell out of that Isbi for trying to use their abilities. Their abilities are forbidden from being used, in that realm. And the reason why they're forbidden from being used, so that the Isbis cannot use those abilities to get the hell out of that realm. That's how insane Enki is. And the Isbis there are told to not get out of line and to never question anything. And those that do get out of line and question things, they are, as I stated, brutally assaulted by and there are a lot of law enforcement officers there, astral law enforcement officers there. They're brutally assaulted. Whenever Enki and his archons feel like it. Now, there have been times where Enki and his specifically Enki, will come and visit the Isbis there, because he doesn't stay there 24/7. But when he does come there and visit that realm, you'll have a man or woman or several people run and tell everyone else in that realm, Lucifer's coming, Lucifer's coming. And when they hear that, those Isbis, they have to get on their knees and stay on their knees so that when Enki comes through that realm, Enki can see that all of his property, that's what he considers his Isbi, us, his property, all his property are on their knees bowing to him. If you don't bow to him, you're going to get punished. That's how it is in that realm. Now, for those who will ask, how do you know this? Well, I know this because not only did I have an experience like this, and a relative of mine had an experience like this, but I talked to a guy, and he goes by the name Astral Rocker. And he said that he has gone through astral projection hundreds of times. And when he has gone through astral projection hundreds of times, he is astral projected to that realm, the Summerland. He didn't call it the Summerland, but that's the name I'm calling it because that's exactly what it is. But he has astral projected to that realm. And when he has astral projected to that realm, this is what he saw. And even, it's sad to say, but it frightened the hell out of him. It shocked him. But then as time went on and he started astral projecting there more and more, the shock kind of wore off. But at first, it was shocking to him. And when he went around telling people about what he had experienced, people didn't believe him until they astral projected and went to that same realm and they saw it for themselves. And then I astral projected and I saw it there. These things are real. I want to say this, we're not saying these things, I'm not saying these things to try to scare you. I'm telling you these things so you can know what awaits after death, physical death. And the people who say nobody knows what happens. Oh yes, people do know what happens. All you have to do is lay down an astral project and see for yourself what happens after death. It's possible for you to know. This is exactly what happens. Now, in that realm, if you get really out of line with rebelling against Enki, he will send you to another one of his realms. And this realm I have called Klepoth. And this realm, what Enki has done is made this realm just like the biblical description of hell. The lake of fire, the demons, and all the burning. He's made it just like that, but he's combined it with the 9 levels of hell from Dante's Inferno, where on each level is a torture going on. And if you really get really out of line with Enki, that's where he sends you. All right, excuse my language again. Fuck the Simmerland. Fuck this realm. You're going down to get really punished. He'll send you down there. And you're not sent down there because you committed any kind of sin, because you're a sinner, or because you've done anything bad against Christianity or any religion. You're sent there because you are refusing to be abused and be dictated to by this psychopathic deity named Enki. That's the only reason why you're sent there. When it comes time for these Isbis to reincarnate from that realm, they are strapped onto a gigantic, and I do mean gigantic, device that has a slab to it. And, well, I call it a device. You could call it a machine. I call it a device. But you're strapped to this slab that's connected to this gigantic machine or device. And electrodes are mounted onto the Isbi's heads. The Isbi's head. And then the Isbi is shocked with thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of strong surging electricity, which is unbelievably painful. For women who have been through childbirth, you think that's painful. You have not, woo, the pain of being electrically shocked repeatedly. It's like sitting in an electric chair and being fried to death. That's what it feels like. But sitting in an electric chair being fried to death times 1,000. Scratch that, times 5,000. It is a painful, painful experience. But this is how you get reincarnated. After you're electroshocked thousands upon thousands upon thousands and times over and over and over again, then you are shot into another baby body all over again. To deal with life all over again. There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is just, if you go with the angels, the Messiah, the loved ones that you see after death, or if you go into the white light, or if you go into the light, and if you go with both of them, if you do go with both of them, go into that, this is what awaits you. People who will say, well, I have had a near-death experience, and I remember when I had my near-death experience, I saw Jesus in heaven, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm so going to come back here one day. Praise the Lord. No, please. There was a film that came out that said Heaven is for Real. I think that's the name of the movie. Heaven is for Real. It was a little boy who went and died, he went to heaven, came back and told his whole story. All of that is hogwash, people. That is a hallucination that comes from Enki. You see, because heaven was put into religious beliefs in the first place to manipulate people into believing that when they die and they see that white light will lead them to heaven. And to further put that belief in stone, have people to have near-death experiences, see heaven, and come back and tell people that they saw heaven. So then you will believe, oh, wait, heaven has to exist. Because this woman said she had a near-death experience and she saw it. So it has to exist. And it exists if you go through the white light. My mind is made up. When I see the white light, I'm going. This is what it's for, people. This is exactly what it's for. This is why people who have near-death experiences of heaven, they come back and tell everybody, oh, I had the near-death experience and I saw the light. I saw my mother. I saw my father. And I saw heaven. I saw the angels and I saw the gardens and I saw the streets of gold. That's to get you to go back and tell people that so that the belief in that scam can continue. Then you have the near-death experiencers who see hell. I died. I had a near-death experience and I saw hell. And I knew it was a place of just hopelessness. And I cried out to God, help me, and God saved me. All of that is to go back and tell people that they saw this. So people can believe, oh my God, if this man said he saw it, hell must be real. So people saying they saw Selena and Whitney Houston in hell, all of that is scams. They're all scams. Selena and Whitney Houston are not in hell. If anything, Selena and Whitney Houston, they went through the light and they're being dictated to by Enki. They're not in hell. Hell doesn't exist. This is the hell, number one. This is hell. We're living in hell now. These near-death experiencers, they are shown hell so that they can go back and tell people, hell is real. How do I escape hell? Believe in God. Believe in Yahweh ben Yahweh. Believe in the Most High. That's another name of Enki, is the Most High. Bull. Believe in the Most High. Believe in Yah. And you will not go to hell. And in that way, when you are on your deathbed and you see Yah, you see Yahweh ben Yahweh, when you see Yahweh, Jesus, God, Allah, when you see the Most High, you'll think, hey, that's the way to heaven. And it's the way to something very terrifying. Very terrifying. So you notice how when the woman gives birth and the babies come out and they're screaming and crying. Why? Why are they screaming and crying? Oh, they're screaming and crying because the pressure they felt coming out. No, that's not. That's not it. No. They're screaming and crying because that is the inside that baby is like, damn, man, I'm here again. Damn. And they're crying because they're upset. They are here in another damn life. Damn. They were screaming and crying when they were on that slab about to be electrified to reincarnation. And that screaming and crying doesn't stop until the baby is born. It continues. This is why the babies come out. That's why. It's the anguish from having to do this shit all over again. Just as Bobby Hemmett, another researcher into the reincarnation trick, said, they're saying, God damn, man, I'm doing this shit again. Wait a minute, I'm doing this shit all over again. That's how they feel. That's why they're born screaming and crying. You've seen videos on YouTube where there are babies and the babies, infants, and even children, and are looking at the parents. Well, maybe not the children, because the children, when they get a certain age, that kind of goes away. But the infants and the newborns, and they're looking at their parents with a look like, who in the hell are you? I can't believe that these are the parents I got in this reincarnation. What? This is the look that they're giving. Because these infants and babies, with them being infants and babies, they know I've been reincarnated back down to this crap again. Damn. That's why. Soul contracts. You hear New Agers talk about, oh my God, the soul contract makes you who you are. I mean, that is a part of your life experience. No, it's not. It's nothing but a scam. Soul contracts are a scam that is a part of the trick of getting you to agree and to reincarnating back down here. You may have left an absolutely horrible, painful life filled with brutal sexual abuse, painful disease, and then you go, you die the physical death, go through the white light, and you go over a soul contract with Enki and his archons. And then Enki will say, okay, you went through a whole lot in this past life, and even though you have to pay back your karmic debt, let's create a soul contract for your next life, whereas you're going to have a little bit of an easier life, but you still got to pay back that debt now, but you're going to have a little bit of an easier life. Okay, great. Well, all you have to do is just agree to the soul contract and agree to reincarnate. And then you agree. And yeah, you'll go into your next reincarnated life. And yeah, you may not go through the harsh, brutal tragedies you went through in your last life, but you're going to go through tragedies that are just as harsh and brutal. Poverty, homelessness, mental illness, brutal domestic abuse, etc. Why that is because the soul contracts are all scams. They're all designed to have the Isby to go into a reincarnated life where somewhere, one way or another, and in repeated ways, that Isby is going to suffer, and they're going to go through suffering so that Enki and his archons can eat the loose energy that comes from that suffering. So also contracts are scams. Anyone who tells you that they're not, they are lying. They are workers for Enki in the meat suits that they are in. Karma doesn't exist. I hear a lot of people say karma's a bitch. Well, how can something that doesn't even exist be a bitch? Karma is not a bitch because karma doesn't exist. If karma existed, Enki and his archons would owe more karma and more karmic debt than all of humanity combined. Karma doesn't exist. The reason why they tell you the karma exists so that you can believe when you cross over and go into that light or go with them beings, and you have your life review, you will believe, oh, but this is why I have to reincarnate back down here, because look at all the karma that I incurred. Karma does not exist. And I hear a lot of New Agers say that, karma exists. Karma does not. Any New Ager or any person who's talking about the reincarnation trick in the prison planet theory, if they tell you karma exists, they are workers of Enki, and it does not exist. Karma does not exist, period. Now, I know that may suck for people who say, well, that means that people like Charles Manson and the Night Stalker, then that means they didn't get paid back for what they did. Well, they're being used by Enki, though. That's the thing. They're being used by Enki to torture Isbys. And they will never see the higher realms because of how evil that they were, even though karma doesn't exist. But when they crossed over, they made deals. And so by them making deals, they are going to remain with Enki, and their sole job is to torture other Isbys. But the bad part about them is that, and they probably think to them, we don't care, but the bad part to them is that they will never see the higher realms, which is the free universe, where is love and light and bliss and just happiness. They'll never have that feeling. They'll always have the feeling of, we have to do the work for Enki, terrorizing other Isbys. But no, karma does not exist at all. And so, Earth being a prison planet. Now, this is a very tricky topic to talk about. But I've heard a lot of people say, this is the Matrix. This is the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. And all of that. And I've heard people say this is a prison planet. But let's break down exactly what a prison planet is. Let me give you an example. You get charged with murder. You have to serve 50 years, 40 years in prison, San Quentin prison for murder. And you have an arrest record longer than both of your arms. So you've been in prison numerous times before. So you go to San Quentin, you do your time in San Quentin, then you get out of prison, and you're thinking, I'm out of prison, I'm free. But somehow or another, you get captured and you get thrown right back in prison again. You get thrown right back in prison again. And then after you get thrown in prison again, you do more time. You get out, you're thinking you're free, you'll come back to this prison again. And each time you go to San Quentin prison, you're going in there with people that are worse than the last time. They're worse than the last time. They're worse than the last time. That's how Earth is. That's how you know it's a prison planet. Because if it wasn't a prison planet, when you die a physical death, you would not have to come back down here again unless you just want to. You wouldn't have to come back down here again. That's how you know this is a prison planet. When you die, if you have no awareness of the reincarnation trick, you have to come back down here again. And each time you come back down here, you're coming down here with worse people than it was last time. Think about how murderers are more worse now than they were back in the 70s, the 80s, the 70s, even the 90s. The 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s. Think about how they're worse now than they were back then. The rapists are worse now than they were back then. The violent people are worse now than they were back then. People are, how you doing? Fuck you, bitch. 40, 50 years ago, now people are more worse towards each other than they were back then. Every time you come back down here to this planet, people are worse than they were the last time you were here. And you want to leave, but you can't leave. You keep getting thrown back down here with people who are 95%, and I'm sorry to say, my apologies in saying this, but 95% of the people here, okay, let me be fair. I'll say 70%. 70% of the people here are criminals, violent, angry towards each other, towards themselves. And every time you come down here, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. And you can never leave. This is a prison planet. That's your proof this is a prison planet. Because it's a prison you can never leave. You can never leave. And every time, summertime, for a majority of the United States, in summer, it feels like hell outside. Now, yes, I understand the hot weather, but you have some states where you're sweating, where people have actually died from the heat. Nosebleeds from the heat. People have burned to death from the heat. Torturing of the inmates here. You can't even go to sleep without locking your front door, because if you leave your front door unlocked, you better hope you be alive in the morning. You have to pay to live here. This is the only planet where you have, well, besides Summerland, where you have to pay to live here. The only place where you have to pay to live here. You have to suffer on jobs. You could be out seeing the world, going to the Colorado Rockies, swimming, fishing, hunting, well, not hunting, but swimming, fishing, hiking. You can't do that because you're slaving over hours and hours of jobs, sometimes 2 or 3 jobs. Prison planet. Because in prison, inmates have to work. They can't just lay on their ass in the cells, work in the laundry room, library. They have to work. They're suffering in prison. It's not, if you ask any inmate, yeah, this is fun, dude. It's not, they're suffering. They're suffering in their own way. Some of them don't even get to see the true sunlight. We don't get to see the true sunlight. That's not the real sun out there. That's not real. This is a prison. And then you think, okay, well, when I die, I will never have to come back down here again. I'm going to go to the land where I will never thirst or be hungry or have pain again. I'm going to be free. And then you die a physical death to come right back down here. Your ass comes right back down here again. This is a prison planet. If that's not a proof of a prison planet, I don't know what else is. This is a prison. And this is a simulated prison planet. Nothing on this planet is real. Nothing is real. It is all a digitized AI simulation. Not your trees, the buildings, the homes, the condos, the cars, the stars, the food, I'm talking about, not just celebrities, I'm talking about the stars at night in the sky, the food, the beverages, not even the majority of the people. This world is like Grand Theft Auto, where it looks real, it tastes real, it feels real, but it's not real. It is a simulated, computerized, AI projected, holographic prison realm reality created by none other than Enki, the demiurge. And he also goes by Lucifer. And Enki's archons. Get this, people. No human being belongs down here. This is why you have a lot of people say, I don't feel, I don't feel like I belong down here. You don't. This is not my home. It isn't. Well, again, and I keep using the word human, and I gotta stop that. Stop it. No Isby belongs down here. No Isby belongs down here. We don't belong down here, nor are we supposed to be down here. We're not supposed to be down in this realm, because this is a prison planet. We're not supposed to be down in this prison planet. We don't need to be down here. Now, there are a few people here who definitely deserve to be in a prison. Yes. But for majority of us good moral Isbys, we don't need to be down here. Because this is not only a prison planet, and it's not only hell, because this is hell, This is also the lowest plane of existence. This is why there's a massive number of murderers, rapists, and all other violent criminal offenders. This is why we have all types of violent animals, bears with fangs and claws, and lions and leopards with fangs and claws. This is a prison. And even though in the prison you don't have animals, but then you do have animals. Because a lot of the prisoners in prisons act just like animals. Act just like tigers, lions, and bears. They'll maul the shit out of you. It's just like this is a prison. And Enki was the one who created animals with fangs and claws, so that at any time when Enki wants to, and he can, when he wants to make those animals attack and kill humans, he can. This is what happens. Contrary to popular belief, we did not originate here. I've heard a lot of New Agers state this as well. We came from here. We're from here. No, we're not. We did not originate here. We did not come here. We did not originate here, and we did not come from here at all. We were tricked into coming here by Enki tricking us into these dead shells and us coming here. So, there are people who believe that the only way out of this prison planet is through ascension. I've heard a lot of New Agers talk about this. Oh, the 5D ascension. Oh, we're going to ascend to 5D. This is a bunch of baloney too. There's no such thing as an ascension. And I will piggyback off of something researcher Howdy Mikowski once said. He said, people say we're going to ascend up to 5D, but in his mind, 5D, death. D stands for death, which means going down. And it's true. We're not going up. We're going further down into the lower realm. We're going each day, week, month, and year. We're going further down and down and down into the lower depths of Enki's depraved, sick, satanic, Luciferian, demented mind. But you have New Agers, and I've seen them on YouTube, I've seen them on BitChute, I've seen them on Rumble. Oh, we're going to ascend to 5D. These people are either delusional or they're willingly telling you lies on purpose because they work for Enki themselves. There's no such thing as an ascension process, because ascension, 5D ascension believers believe that all you have to do is wake up and choose whatever reality you wish to live in via thought, intention, law of attraction. You can choose to ascend to that reality, which of course they're stating is 5D. They believe that with positive thoughts, a positive mindset, and affirmations and meditation and love and light and happiness 24/7, we can come from one reality timeline and go into another. This is absolute crazy Charles Manson, Heaven's Gate cult baloney. This is absolutely laughable. There's a lot of people trying to stop the truth from getting out, because a lot of people want you to believe something cushioned up like that. Want you to believe something cushioned to make you feel good. Oh, okay. All I have to do is believe that one day I'm going to ascend out of here, and that's it. I feel so much better. They want you to believe that. They don't want you to know the gritty, real truth. And the gritty, real truth is not comfortable. It is not anything cushioned. It's a slap in the face, but it's a slap in the face that you definitely need. I could come on here and tell you all, hey, don't worry. Yes, the reincarnation trick is real, but there are going to be some gods that are going to come back and they're going to save you all. You all are going to be okay. I can come on and tell you that to make you feel good, but then that would be a lie. And then once you find out that it was a lie, then you are worse off than you were when you first started listening to me. I can't do that. I can't do that. These other reincarnation trick New Age people can tell you that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. So you can have all the positive thoughts you want. You can do all the meditation and the affirmations and the high vibration and positivity and love, light mindset. You can have all that all you want. But at the end of the day, the world around you, the dimensions around you, the timeline that you still live in is still filled with that same hatred, violence, division, suffering, and pain. All you've done is put on rose-colored glasses and decided to pretend that you live in a different reality, world, dimension, or timeline. And you don't. You don't at all. You can think that just by having high vibrations and having and focusing on a positive mindset and practicing love and light is all that it takes to escape from this prison planet. You're lying. It's not true. You have to do things in order to escape. And you have to focus on the negativity. You know, I used to think this. Few people around me used to think this. We all used to think this, that don't focus on the negativity. Just focus on the love and light. Focus on the love and light. Don't focus on the negativity. But then we discovered that's bull. Now, a lot of things we are not going to focus on because we know it's that I'm not going to focus on, that I know is a distraction. People are not going to focus on, people that I know, we all are not going to focus on because we know it's a distraction. But you have to focus on the negativity around you so that you can escape this realm and go to Paroma. You have to. But you have to know the difference between focusing and recognizing the negativity around you and focusing and recognizing distractions. You have to know the difference. Distractions are something that you cannot change. But the negativity around you, you can change. You can change it by making sure that with this negativity going on, I'm going to do things to counteract this negativity from harming me. But you cannot counteract the negativity from harming you by 24/7 thinking love and light, meditation. I'm in a 5D realm. You can't, that's not how you combat it at all. But this is what 5D Ascension believers believe. They did not shift, these Ascension believers, they did not shift to any new timeline, dimension, or reality. They just blocked out their surroundings for an extended period of time. All the negative things of the world, they blocked it out and pretended they shifted to a new timeline, dimension, and reality. There is no way, and I want to state this as well, because I've heard a lot of people, men and women, men and women, New Agers talking about the reincarnation trap, as they call it, the prison planet theory. I've heard them say, you have to control your emotions. You can't control your emotions, then you can't, then you're not going to be able to make it, because that's how you get out of here, by controlling your emotions. You can't get angry, you're not supposed to. That's the most biggest laughable junk I've ever heard. There's no way that 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days out of a year, you're just positive and happy and unaffected by the world around you all times. You're never angry, upset, sad, depressed, scared, worried. There's no way in hell, unless you are an NTC. There's no way in hell that you're going to be like that. Hell, even at times, I get depressed. There's not too many things that scare me, but I get worried. I get upset. I get sad. You're going to have those emotions because you're in this physical meat suit. And that physical meat suit that physical shell is in this hellish prison planet realm. So there are going to be times when someone cuts you off and you say, God damn it, what the fuck is that? You're going to get that. And anyone who tells you, you have to be in control of your emotions and not get that way, they are telling lies. They have gotten that way themselves. There's no way in hell you can't. There's no way in hell. Unless you go and you become a monk and you live on a mountain in a small house on top of a mountain and you don't go anywhere. But then even then, knowing this is no way in hell. That's like being in San Quentin for life, but while you're in a prison cell in San Quentin, during time, you're pretending that you're not. You're pretending that you were paroled from prison and you now live on a beach in Hawaii and you're living your very best beach life and, you're never angry and it's no way in hell. But this is what these 5D Ascension believers, this is what they believe. They can keep pretending all they want, but all they're doing is pretending. And after a while, what's going to happen is these Ascension believers, they are going to be hit with reality hard. And when they're hit with reality hard, it's going to affect them. This is why you have a lot of Ascension believers. When reality comes back and hits them hard, they suffer through severe bouts of depression. Severe bouts of depression. sadness, anger, rage, even abuse with alcohol and the like. Now they may come on the YouTube and BitChute. I'm just so happy, but behind closed doors, you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, they're suffering with severe bouts of depression, alcohol, smoking cigarettes, because reality has hit them. They pretended for so long and were in a pretend bubble for so long that when it finally burst, they're depressed, they're downtrodden to see that their supposedly real ascension was indeed nothing more than pretend. And again, but they'll come in front of the public and put on airs, but behind closed doors, they're downtrodden because they're back to the same reality they've always been in. They ascended nowhere. They're still in a hellish prison planet hell realm. This world is a real life horror movie. And the killers are Enki and his archons and his draconians and reptilians, and we're the protagonists. That's how it is. Now, for those who will say, well, I live a beautiful life, I'd never have any problems, you're lying. There's not a person, rich, poor, wealthy, who has a perfect life. They never get sad, they never get depressed, they never get angry, they never say, I'm tired of this and that. You do. You just are either faking the funk, you're insane where you're trying to hide it. Everyone is suffering in this world. Everyone, even the rich. In their own little ways, they're suffering in ways. And it's not supposed to be that way, but it's that way because this is the realm that Enki has created. So no, there will be no ascension while in physical bodies. Ascension is not real. And if it were real, you wouldn't be doing it in physical bodies. The only way to get to the free universe, pleroma, is through death. And then after death, your Isby has to have the awareness to turn away from the light or turn away from the ones that are telling you to come with them. That's the only way to leave this realm. You are not going to leave it through any ascension. The belief that one will ascend in their physical bodies is the same stupid belief that Christians have in the rapture. Oh, the rapture. We're going to come up out of our clothes and the bodies. It's never going to happen. So any new ager, any reincarnation trap, as they call it, prison planet theory researcher who tells you, oh, ascension is real. They're saying it, number one, to make money, because the new age community has been so hijacked by people trying to make money. This is why you got people charging $20, $25, $35 on their books. Buy my CDs, buy this and that and this, that, and the third, because they're making money off of it. And they make money off of this ascension scam because the ascension scam is a feel-good gimmick. And if you feel good by what they're telling you, then you'll buy their CDs, their books, their movies, and all of that. It's a money grab. The same new agers will tell you what you can eat and can't eat. Don't eat meat because we're eating living things. Well, so are plants. Plants are living things as well. Plants are living things as well. So are you going to stop eating them? Because if you stop eating plants and you stop eating meat, what are you going to eat then? What are you going to eat? Fruits? Fruits come from plants, living things. There's no way in hell you can stop eating living things unless you just starve and die. You starve and die. You can't live in this realm and not eat anything living. But they'll say, don't eat meat, don't eat plants. All of this bullshit. It doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter. What you eat and don't eat is not going to determine if you leave this matrix. Now, you had a lot of serial killers who didn't eat meat. A lot of killers, period, who didn't eat meat. Michael Bear and Suzanne Carson were vegetarians, and they were also the brutal killers in San Francisco. Lynette Fromm was an assassin and member of the Manson family. She was a vegetarian. So now, by her being a vegetarian, does that mean that she sat there and she went to the free universe too? Please, people, these are lies. And I see these lies all the time on YouTube, on BitChute, from these new age people. These reincarnation trap, as they call it, prison planet theory people. They're telling you these lies. It matters what you eat, what you don't eat. It does not. It doesn't. What you eat is not going to matter as to whether you're able to escape this reincarnation trick after death or not. Because if you eat plants, You're eating, plants are living organisms. So you're eating living, or if you eat seafood, those are living too. Again, I've seen videos of lobsters and crabs crawling out of boiling water to prevent from being cooked because they can feel the pain. So your dietary habits don't matter. They're saying this to make you feel guilty. And I see this all the time. These new age people, reincarnation trap, as they call it, prison planet theory people, make up these claims to make you feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. Eat your meat. Eat your plants, because you got to eat to survive. So, the best you can do, as I said, there are going to be times when you're going to get sad, depressed, angry. You're going to get worried. You may even get scared. The best you can do is try your best not to feel those emotions. Try your best to not to let those emotions get into you where you're feeling them. But if there comes a time when you do feel them, don't feel, oh my God, I feel them. I'm such a horrible person. Oh my God, I don't have control of emotions. Nobody has control over their emotions. Not as long as we're on this planet, nobody has control over them. Don't feel like you've done excuse my language, big fuck up because you've felt those emotions. You try to do the best you can not to emit loose energy. But if it happens by accident, keep plugging along. Keep plugging along. It doesn't mean that you are less powerful than anybody else. We are not perfect, and we will never be perfect as long as we're in this realm. And so now there's the thing of chakras. These chakras, you have people talking about chakras. You have the chakras in your head, the heart, the chest, and all of that. And the 7 chakras that a lot of New Agers talk about, the prison planet, as they call it, and the prison planet and the reincarnation trap, as they call it, researchers, they say, tap into your chakras, awaken your chakras. No, your chakras are implants by Enki. Your chakras should never be awakened. As a matter of fact, they should be removed. The 7 chakras are nothing more than archon implants, and every ISB has them inside of their meat suit bodies. Unless they are an NPC, every ISB has inside of their bodies chakras there. Those chakras, those 7 chakras are implants, and they have been placed inside of the container, the body that holds the ISB. The 7 chakras are not part of our real chakra system. Before being incarnated down here, Enki and his archons placed energetic implants, overlays, inside of our bodies, which are the chakras. So, every time you are storing energy in one of the chakras, what you're doing is that energy that you're storing inside of the chakras, they are feeding Enki and his archons. So when you're sad and you're depressed, that loose energy from those emotions gets stored in the chakra, and from that chakra, Enki and his archons feed off of the loose energy inside of there. Every time you have a disruption in your daily life, which causes natural energetic blockages, instead of clearing them instantly, they are reinforced. Those blockages are reinforced and clogged due to the holding of your energy system. Meaning, what I mean is that those negative thoughts or emotions will persist. This is why a lot of times if you're feeling sad, let's say for example you're feeling sad tonight, and then tomorrow morning you're saying, God, why do I still feel sad? I thought I would feel better, because those emotions are still there, because it's being held in the energy systems of the chakras. They're still there. And as a result, Enki and his archons, they feed off of it. Now, the chakra system that we ISBs do have that are natural chakra points are called the 3 dantians. Those are our real chakra points. Not the 7 chakras that we have always heard about, but the real chakra points are called the 3 dantians. The 7 chakras that are inside of the body now, for those who have them, they're actually hindering your progress as an ISB. And the more that you work on these chakras, trying to awaken them, trying to strengthen them, the harder the thought forms, which are from Enki, are to remove. The negative thought forms that are from Enki, which are the negative emotions, the harder they are to remove. This is why sometimes you've had people say, man, I've been depressed for days and I've been trying to feel better, but I can't get this depression off of me. Because the more that you work on those chakras, the more it makes it hard for depression, sadness, anger, grief, all of it, worry, fear, concern. The more, when I was concerned, but worry, the more that you work on these chakras, the harder it is for these emotions to just get off of you and to remove from your ISB and the body that the ISB is in. It is very hard. People have been tricked by New Agers to believe that as ISBs, they have to continuously try to raise their vibrational energy by, again, as I stated, opening these chakras to awaken their true selves. All of that is malarkey. When you open up those chakras, you are allowing all negative energy that you will feel, negative emotions that you feel, to go into those chakras and to be stored there so Enki can feed off of them. That's what they're for. This is why the chakras should never be open. And not only should it be open, it should be removed. If you remove those 7 chakras, you will have a true connection to the divine self and source. Everything will be clearer, and they won't be able, the archons and Enki won't be able to drain your energy, a lot of people say, yeah, I feel so tired, man, I feel so tired, like I don't have any energy. It's because the loose energy that Enki took from you has made your whole ISB become drained, even though it's the negative energy. But that negative energy coming out from you, going to Enki, is causing the whole entire energetic ISB as a whole to be drained. This is why you feel so tired. Oh, I feel so tired. Man, it's like I don't have any energy, because Enki has been feeding off of that loose energy, which has caused the rest of your overall energy that's surrounded around and inside that ISB, it has completely been drained as well. All of your once you remove these chakras, all of your psychic abilities will come forth unhindered and undrained completely. Even when attempting to remove a chakra you've been working on, while you're removing that chakra, you're going to see the archons and all the negative entities that are attached to those chakras, that are being removed. You're going to see it. That's the power of removing these chakras. And then you're going to realize that when you thought by opening these chakras you were doing something good, you will realize at that moment you were doing something bad. These chakras should absolutely be removed. And once you remove them, you're going to feel grounded, clear-headed. You're going to feel present. So it's just like a laptop. The container, the body that holds your ISB is like a laptop. It's just like a laptop. The laptop works perfectly by itself. However, you click on a website on your laptop, and when you click on the website on your laptop, it brings forth into that laptop numerous viruses. And those viruses have the purpose of stealing the energy of the laptop. And so what you have to do is you have to continuously try to reset and fix that laptop to get it back in working condition. But it's hard, and every time you try to reset it and fix it, it gets harder and harder and harder. That's how these chakras are inside of these containers that are holding our Isbies. These chakras are nothing more than viruses that hold negative energy that we emit so that it can feed Enki and the Archons. There's another chakra called the soul overlay chakra, and that is another chakra that should be cleared out because that chakra is connected to the reincarnation trick after death. And removing that chakra clears the white light reincarnation trick illusion that we see after death. So if you remove that chakra, it's going to be damn near impossible. I mean, you may still see it, but you probably have you're going to have more of a strength to say, I'm not going into the light. I'm not going with those beings. But with that chakra, that soul overlay chakra still inside of you, it's going to give you that one thing to, let me go on with them. Let me go into that light. That chakra definitely has to be removed. And there are also other chakras that are linked to the reincarnation trick that wipes out memory. This is where you have to do research to find out what they are and you have them removed. And once you do have them removed, you're going to have spiritual abilities and experiences that you can't even imagine. And again, but you hear the New Agers, the reincarnation trap, as they call it, the prison planet theory, researchers say, the chakras, open your chakras, open your chakras, They're telling you this either because they're purposely lying or because they are disillusioned themselves. These people have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Now, another thing I've been hearing in the New Age movement, and this is also this is briefly touched on in my novel, the earth is flat. Earth is flat, all of that. And I've seen a lot of reincarnation trap, as they call it, prison planet theory researchers debate on YouTube and BitChute, the earth is flat. The earth is not flat. One person even got into a debate with Joe Rogan over it. Well, let me just state this. I don't give a shit, excuse my language, if the earth is flat or not. I don't care. I think this is the most ridiculous debate that I've ever heard of. First of all, it amazes me how much people put so much time and concern on a realm that they were never supposed to be in the first place. A realm where we don't even belong in or on, and a realm that's not even real. Whether the earth is flat or not, how is that going to help us Isbies in our departure from this prison planet realm? And how is that going to help us to escape the reincarnation trick? It's not. Because, okay, so now that the earth is flat or that it's not flat, now what? Let's use the prison planet theory again, because this realm is a prison planet. So let's say, for example, if you're in Rikers serving many years and you're complaining that you believe that the walls are yellow and other inmates are complaining that they are not, that the walls aren't yellow. Who the hell cares? You don't own the prison. You're not supposed to be in the prison anyway. And so what you should be focused on is leaving Rikers, not how Rikers is designed. Your only concern should be, how do I leave Rikers permanently and never come back? So whether this realm is flat, circular, the shape of late singer Prince's behind, the shape of Tyra Banks' big forehead, who cares? Who cares? The only thing that matters is getting off of this flat or this globe-shaped realm, period. Just like people are concerned about the ice wall surrounding Antarctica. So what? Isbies and human containers, I can guarantee you, are never going to leave this prison planet by going over that ice wall. The government is simply not going to allow it. So what does it matter? As a matter of fact, the ice wall in Antarctica is a part of this whole simulated hellish prison realm in the first place. Which means the ice wall isn't even real, just like everything else in this hell realm isn't real. So why is there such a debate over this? Because this is the distraction. This is the distraction. Because again, let me state this. No Isbie is going to leave this realm other than by way of death. through the awareness of the reincarnation trick. That's the only way. You're not getting out by climbing over any ice wall in Antarctica. But again, the reason why these New Agers and reincarnation trap and prison, as they call it, prison planet theory talking heads keep discussing about the Earth is flat, the Earth is a globe, the ice wall, Antarctica, is to get you distracted on things that do not matter, instead of focusing on the things that do matter, which is getting the hell out of this realm and escaping the reincarnation trick and never coming back. Now, let's get into something else that's also in the novel. AI and Enki, the demiurge, the simulation connected to the demiurge and the UFO sightings. Now, I have been listening to Howdy Mikowski. Howdy Mikowski is a researcher who talks about the reincarnation trick, and he talks about the prison planet theory, and he brings forth a lot of great truth compared to a lot of other people I heard. He brings forth a lot of great truth, just like Wes Penray is, oh my God. This Wes Penray, I mean, this man is going to fly out of this reincarnation trick 150%. This man is on the ball. Howdy Mikowski, he brings forth a lot of good truth as well. He's great. And he had said in several of his videos that this current simulation that we're in, it is ending. And he is absolutely correct. It is ending. This current simulation that we're in, it is ending. And I honestly believe, based off of my hours, weeks, months, and years of extensive research, I believe this simulation began in 2012. In 2012, the old simulation from 2012 on back, it ended. And the new simulation began. It started on 2012. In 2012, rather. And when it started in 2012, it's been going ever since, but it's about to end. So I believe Howdy Mikowski is right. This is why violence is increasing. Racial division is increasing. I've seen white and black people, black and white people, act so, I haven't seen this type of ugliness between the two races since civil rights days. And I wasn't even born in the civil rights days, but I heard of it. I haven't seen that since seeing videos and interviews, hearing interviews of people talk about the civil rights days. It's incomprehensible. Hatred is increasing. Coldness is increasing. This is why all of these new phenomena, people are seeing UFOs more so now than they have ever seen it in history. The government is telling more and more. Ex-government people and current government people are talking about UFOs more so now than ever in history. Why? Is because this is what happens right before a simulation is about to end. Right before the world, which is the simulation, ends, this is exactly the things that happens. When this simulation ends and the new simulation begins, there will be no more humans. As far as humans, now I'm using the word humans because this is the word that everyone out in this world identifies with. There will be no more of them. There will be no more ISBs in physical bodies. That's going to be gone. No. There will be no more ISBs walking around, driving around. No. All ISBs are going to have themselves put into mechanic AI bodies. The AI bodies will never be able to, they will never stop functioning. It will just be an everlasting, eternal AI machine body. Oh, but the machine body is going to have skin on it. But underneath that skin is going to be the wires and machines. And inside those wires and machines is going to be the ISB. AI, artificial intelligence, is the agenda of Enki, Yaldabaoth, the demiurge. And he wants this to happen because when ISBs get inside of an AI body, they're going to be more controllable. no more will he have to work. Because right now, what happens is the physical body, the meat suit, stops working. Then the SB has to come out of the meat suit. They have to go through the light. They have to go to the holding center. And it takes a while before it goes through the reincarnation process. So it makes a while before Enki's back in full. He's already in control of them during this whole process after they go through the light. But full control, it takes a while once they get back down here. Well, in this new way, they'll be in these bodies that are AI, that is mechanic, that Enki control forever. They'll never leave it. They'll never leave it because the bodies will never stop functioning because they're mechanic, they're robotic, they're machines. This is what he wants, to make ISBs more controllable. And on top of making them more controllable, he can feed off of them better because they're never leaving that body. And the new simulation that's coming, Enki's going to run it with his son named Marduk. Marduk is who everyone knows as Satan. No, Satan and Lucifer are not the same. They're two different entities. And Marduk is, another name for Marduk is Satan. Another name is Saturn. Marduk is Enki's son. Enki and Marduk are going to run this new simulation that's coming. This simulation, now first of all, I'm going to say this. You think Enki is bad. Marduk is far, far worse. Marduk is far, 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 far worse than Enki. Oh, Lord, Jesus. If Jesus were real, Lord, he's something. And so both Enki and Marduk are going to run this new simulation that's coming, this new simulated world. If you have never heard of Mark Zuckerberg, who's the owner of Facebook, he had a realm, a digital simulated realm game called the Metaverse. If you don't know what it is, look it up. For those who know what the Metaverse was, I don't think it's still around. He pulled it off of a public view. But the new simulation that's coming in is going to be just like the Metaverse, where everything is going to be 100% digital, computerized inside of a computer. The computer will be one big giant computer that either Enki or Marduk or they'll have one of their puppets to control. One big gigantic supercomputer, but inside of that computer will be a simulated world. It'll look just like this. It'll look just like this world here, but everything will be digital. Everything will be computerized. And there will be no more meat suits that fail to work after a certain period of time. It will be robotic machine bodies. And in this new simulated world, there will be no more laws. That means violence, sexual assault, all types of depravity will be allowed, legal. It's going to be a mess. Because that's what Enki wants. He wants a world with no laws. This is why one of Enki's puppets, Aleister Crowley, said, "Do what thou wilt." With no laws, no restrictions. This is what Enki wants. That's the type of world this new simulation will be. There will be no more religions. Christianity, Buddhism, Judaism, Hinduism, Seventh-day Adventists, Latter-day Saints, Mormon, Amish, all that's going to be gone. The only religion it will be the worshiping of Enki, Lucifer, and Marduk, Satan. And anyone who refuses to worship Enki and Marduk, they are going to be brutally punished. Just like they're punished up there on the Summerland, they're going to be punished in this new simulation. As I stated, there will be no more deaths, because these bodies will work forever and ever and ever and ever for all eternity. This simulation, for those who think, oh, that's not going to be so bad. I mean, I want to be in a video game. You don't. Not this type of video game. You don't. You don't want to be in this type of video game. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be, if you think that the way this world is right now, if you think this is bad, wait till we get to this new simulation here. It's going to be 500,000, but it's going to be 5 billion% worse. Because anything is going to go. Anything goes in this new realm. And ain't going to be no cops. I'm going to call the cops. Ain't going to be none of that. Anything goes. And, but however, now, so this is where we're this is where we're headed. This old simulation is ending, and the new simulation is going to begin. Now, but before we can get to this new simulation, this old simulation that we're currently in, it has to die and it has to end. This is why everything in the world is breaking down now. Weather related, again, the UFOs, the crime, the violence, the wars overseas. This is why everything is far worse than it ever has been, because this old simulation has to come to an end. After a while, they're going to do away with American dollars and coins. I don't care what Trump says. They're going to do away with dollars and coins, and everything's going to be digital, because in this new digital simulation that's coming, you can't use dollars and coins and paper money. Everything's going to be digital, so everything has to be digital. Money has to be digital. Food's going to be digital. So this is why everything is breaking down now. If you notice, if you really open your eyes and look around the world, you'll see that this world is breaking down, because the old simulation has to die and before the new one comes in. But before this new one comes in, one last thing has to happen. And this is what people call the stage alien invasion. See, people are saying that there is this stage alien invasion that's going to happen, and it's going to be fake. It's going to be the product of Project Bluebeam. This is all a lie. I've heard a lot of New Agers state this. I've heard a lot of reincarnation trap, as they call it, prison planet theory people state this, and this is a lie. Number one, I don't give a damn what anybody says. Excuse my language. I have to say words like damn to really get my point across so people can understand, because this is a serious thing that I'm talking about. We're talking about. I don't give a damn what anybody says. The reptilians and the draconians and even the Greys and Enki and Marduk, they're not called aliens. What does the word alien mean? Alien means that you are a foreigner to a place. Well, if the aliens come here via an invasion, as these New Age people, reincarnation, trick, trap, prison planet theory people say, then that means that they are alien to this realm here. They are not. These Enki, Marduk, reptilians, draconians, and Greys, they were here long before we got here. They are not aliens to this realm. If anything, we're the aliens to this realm. We're the aliens. We're the aliens. They're not. So they're not aliens. You can either call them deities, or you can call them intelligent beings, or you can call them lesser gods and greater gods, but they're not aliens. So let's scratch that out the way. Alien invasion. No, scratch out the alien. That's gone. Number two, invasion. Why would they invade something that they already possess? Because the word invade means to enter by force or take possession of something. Enki and even his son Marduk, they both already have possession of this realm. So they don't have to enter it by force. They already have possession. So it would not be an invasion, because they don't have to invade anything that they already own. So again, you have the word alien invasion. That's totally wrong. It's not going to be an invasion, and they're not aliens. However, what will happen is Enki and Marduk, and possibly even those malevolent forces with them, they're going to make their appearance. Now, for those who don't believe this, you don't have to believe it. I'm telling you, these gods are going to return. They're going to return. And when they do return, it's not going to be staged. It's going to be real. And they're not coming to break bread with you all. For those who think they're going to come and break bread and have a tea party with you all and watch episodes of Three's Company or Yellowstone, my favorite show, or Starsky and Hutch or what have you. No, they're not. When they do make their appearance, they're coming to tear up and destroy. And all those who have merged themselves with AI, and here's something to know for sure. You all have heard about Elon Musk. He has the Neuralink, and he wants to put chips in people, and there have been people who have said, if you get a microchip in you, you can have superhuman strength. You can live longer, you can be faster and smart. All of that is merging yourself with AI. And again, this is Enki's agenda, to have ISBs to merge with AI. Why? Told you why. For control. For better control. Now, all of those who decide to say, you know what, I want to merge myself with AI because I don't want to die at 70, 80 years old. I want to be faster. I want to be smarter. I want to last longer in the bedroom or what have you, whatever they decide to be the excuse for why they want to merge with AI. All of those who merge with AI, when these gods do return, you are going to be taken with them, because when you merge with AI, you're going to be branded. You all may not believe this, but we're telling you, you are going to be branded and you will be taken if you merge yourself with AI. After you are taken, you are going to go through a horrible physical death. After that physical death, your ISB is going to be put into this new simulation that is coming, and you will remain there for what will feel like an eternity. Okay? You don't think that that's coming? Just wait. This will not be staged. Them appearing to the world is not going to be because of Project Bluebeam, like people keep saying. Project Bluebeam is the belief that NASA and the UN are trying to create a new world order by implementing a new age religion headed by the Antichrist, using advanced technology to trick people into believing in this religion. No. That's the government's explanation of what Project Bluebeam is, and they are lying. Project Bluebeam is going to be this. But number one, let's rewind it back. Once we get into this new simulation, all traditional religions are going to be abolished. All national identities are going to be removed. So that's out of the question. All of this, it's not going to be a new age religion. It's going to be just worshiping Enki and Marduk in this new simulation. Now, when these gods make their appearance, they're not going to need the advanced technology from the government. They don't need that. Enki and Marduk doesn't need the government's technology that they have given to the government. They're going to use their own technology, which is their powers. See, Enki and Marduk and all of those with Enki and Marduk, they have powers all of their own. They don't need the government's power technology. They don't need that. They can use their own technology. What's going to happen is when these gods do return, alongside these gods returning, you are going to have numerous holographic illusionary images that are going to be absolutely horrific, and they are going to appear alongside of these gods returning. Now, what do I mean by that is, for example, when these gods do make their appearance, Enki, Marduk, and those with them, they are going to be walking the streets. When they're walking the streets, out of the sky, you may see the planet Saturn falling out of the sky and crashing to the ground. That'll be Project Bluebeam. That's going to be a hologram. Or you may see if it happens at nighttime, you may see all of the stars just drop down from the sky. That will be Project Bluebeam. Or you may see creatures, gigantic creatures crawling up buildings. That will be Project Bluebeam. But the gods appearing and walking the streets, in which they will, and tearing up and destroying anything and anyone, that's not going to be a hologram. That's going to be real. It's going to be 100% real. But Project Bluebeam will be used alongside of those gods appearing to further frighten the people. Because when people see these gods, they're going to be frightened, because these are giants. These are 12, 15 feet and taller giants. So people are going to be frightened. They're going to be screaming and crying and running up and down the street, and it's going to be mass hysteria. And it's going to be mass hysteria because they've never seen giants before. These giant beings, they've never seen them before. And alongside of them being frightened by that, they're also going to be frightened by the holographic images made by Project Bluebeam that they're going to be seeing. That's how Project Bluebeam is going to be used. But this is not going to be a staged incident. This is going to be real. And for those who have said, because I've seen people on these social media platforms say, oh, when Enki and Marduk come, oh, they're going to look all chiseled and they're going to look all, they're nice chests. People actually think that when Enki and Marduk show up and appear, they're going to be looking like Channing Tatum or Ryan Reynolds. No, please. They're not going to be all muscled up, long curly hair and pretty. No, think again. When Enki and Marduk make their appearance, and all those with Enki and Marduk make their appearance, they are going to come looking exactly as how they are. Evil, psychotic, demented, insane, crazed, psychopathic. There's nothing pretty or good looking about them. Oh, sure. If they want to deceive you, they'll come looking all pretty like an angel of light. Because that's to deceive you. But then once they have deceived you, then that's when they're going to reveal who they really are, which they are the ugliest creatures you've ever seen. They are the most crazed, demented, hideous looking figures that you've ever seen. Why are they like that? It's because that matches who they are. They're ugly, they're demented, they're crazy. And they're coming to do damage and to destroy. This is why the government has said many times, if you've heard people, if you have listened close enough, you've heard the government say, they're not ready. We're not, aliens exist, but we're not ready to, the aliens said they're not ready to reveal themselves. And then for so many years, you've heard people in the government say the government knows the aliens exist, but they don't want the public to know because it would cause mass hysteria. If these beings, which everyone calls aliens, if they existed, and which they do, and they are so, let me make this more plain. With the government saying that we don't want people to know the aliens exist, or it's going to cause mass hysteria. If these aliens, as they call them, if these beings were so good, why would it call mass hysteria? Why would it cause that? We've seen commercials, Heineken commercials, Super Bowl commercials, where the aliens, as they're called, they're, hey, take us to you later, give me a beer. And so, people are used to seeing, that's funny. They had a whole TV show, Third Rock from the Sun, with aliens, as they call them, disguised as human beings, as they call them. Disguised as people, laughing and making jokes. So if these beings that are coming, these gods, these entities, these deities that are coming, if they are coming to be friendly, kind, well then immediately once they appear, they would, hi everyone, we are the beings, we are the ones you've been seeing in the skies. Take us to your leader. No one would be having mass hysteria from that. But the reason why the government said there would be mass hysteria, because they know that these beings that are making their appearance, that will make their appearance, they're not friendly. They are very hostile. They are very malevolent. And when they do make their appearance and start tearing up anything and anyone, mass hysteria is going to happen. So then you have people who think, well, I could just hide. I can hide in my doomsday bunker, or I got my goons and all this little, my goon, my miracle. And all. No, okay? Number one, they will take that gun and Enki will crush it with one hand. that semi-automatic you have, that rifle, he will crush it with one hand. Well, please. You try to shoot at them, the bullets are going to just ricochet right off their bodies. Please, the guns is out. Hiding. Enki and Marduk and everyone with them knows every single hiding spot on the face of this earth. Why? Because they created this earth. This is their realm. They know they know exactly look under every rock, every mountain. They know every hiding spot. We ain't gonna have, this is why the Bible, see, the Bible talks a lot of truth, because the Bible is the demiurge's blueprint. It's from him. The Bible says in the last days there will be no place to run and no place to hide. Well, that's true. When these gods appear, there will be no place to run. But you can run, but you ain't going to hide. You're not going to hide anywhere. Then you have this racist group, and that's exactly what they are. They're racist. They hate white people, which is absolutely ridiculous. But you have this racist group called the Hebrew Israelites, who believes that when the Anunnaki appear, because the Anunnaki are black people, their soul glow from coming to America, black people, that when they appear, they're going to take the Hebrew Israelites home with them, and they're going to all sit back and have beers and eat chicken or eat rice and just have a good old time, because the Hebrew Israelites are black and the Anunnaki are black, and the Hebrew Israelites are also spent. This is so unbelievably ridiculous. Number one, the Anunnaki doesn't care if you're black or white or whomever. The Anunnaki hates you. If you are a Isbi, the Anunnaki hates you. Doesn't matter what race you are. On top of that, if these Israelites do go with Enki and Marduk, Enki and Marduk are going to do to them the same thing that they're going to do to all of those who are branded. The Hebrew Israelites are going to go through a horrible death, and their Isbis are also going to be put into this new digitized, simulated realm. Okay? But Hebrew Israelites actually believe that when they come, when Enki and Marduk come, they're coming for them, and they're going to be good to them. No, they're going to be good, all right, but it's not going to be to you. When these beings do appear to Christians, they're going to think, because see, what's going to happen, again, Enki is powerful. Before he starts tearing up anything and everyone, he's going to first appear to all of those who are looking for a savior. The Hebrew Israelites, the Christians, those who believe in Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Latter-day Saints, Scientologists, even them, the Mormons, the Amish, the Jehovah Witness. He's going to appear to them all at the same time. So Christians may be standing in a park over here, and they're seeing Jesus. The Muslims are standing over there on the street corner, and they're seeing Allah, all at the same time. To each group, Enki and all of those with him are going to appear as the deity of each religion. And when the Christians see Enki and Marduk, they're going to think this is Jesus and this is God. And Enki is going to create a rapture-like type of incident to happen, where these Christians are going to just fly up, like you see in a real, as they call it, alien abduction. The movie Alien Abduction, you see the people being beamed up to the spaceship. That's exactly how it's going to be. The Christians are going to be beamed up straight towards Enki and Marduk, and the Christians, as they're being beamed up, they're going to be thinking, oh, this is the rapture. It's not. You are being taken. You are being abducted to go into a new simulation where you will be a slave for a very long time. That's exactly what's coming. The Hebrew Israelites, the same thing. The Allah believers, the same thing. The Judaism believers, Hindu, all these religions, they're going to be taken up, and they're going to be thinking, oh, we're going home to glory. You're going to a new, torturous, more worse simulation. Okay? Now, when will they return? I don't know. I am not, you see a lot of people, ex-government people, who are purposely, I believe, they're purposely lying when they give dates. And even the New Age people, the prison, planet, reincarnation, trap, as they call it, theory researchers, they're giving, oh, this is the date it's going to happen here. It's going to happen, they're coming back. I don't know, and neither do they. They don't know it either. They don't know it. Oh, I channeled, and the people that you're channeling with are nobody but the archons. You ain't channeling with no damn good beings. Come on, you're channeling with archons. You're channeling with archons who are telling you lies. No one knows when these beings are coming, but I do believe, and I do have a right to believe. So I believe they'll be here before 2030. Oh yes, I believe they're coming before 2030, but I don't know the exact date. but I believe that we are close to approaching it. This is why you're seeing more UFOs than you've ever seen before in your life. Because we're getting there. We're getting close to that time. And I'm telling you, if you think this simulation here is bad, just wait till you get to this new one. It's going to, oh, whew. I won't be here. I will be up in Paroma. Yes. So now, conclusion. You're hearing all this, so you think, what can I do? How can I escape the reincarnation trick? How can I get out of the prison planet? Well, first of all, let me state this. When you have the body death, first thing you do is, well, first thing what will happen, excuse me, your ISB will come up out of the body. When your ISB comes up out of the body, you're going to be approached by the archonic spirit guides, or passed on loved ones, or even the Messiah. And they are going to encourage you to go with them, and if they have a white light behind them, they're going to encourage you to go with them into the white light. And you as an ISB, you're going to feel that attraction and gravitation from that white light. And you may even feel yourself moving towards it, consciously or unconsciously. Because it's going to be like some people say it's like a leaf being sucked into a vacuum. However, when this happens, this is what you should do. When you feel yourself moving towards this light, instead of letting yourself be hypnotized by the attraction of the light or anyone in front of the light, or if you don't see a light, instead of you allowing yourself to be hypnotized by the people that's telling you to come on, turn and look in the opposite direction, and you will have 360-degree vision. And so with you having 360-degree vision, you can still concentrate on looking in a certain direction. So you're going to turn and look in the opposite direction. And when you turn and look in the opposite direction, you're going to move away from the tunnel. How you move away from the tunnel is by thinking yourself as moving. Because once your ISB comes up out of the body, everything goes off of thoughts and intention. What you think and what you think is what you're putting your intention on, and what you put your intention on will manifest. So you think yourself, move away, move away. You're thinking in your mind, in your ISB mind, move away from the light, move away from the light, move away from the light, and you'll move. Do not try to fight moving away from the light. So or if you see the light, or if you don't see the light, if you see the people telling you to come on, don't try to fight it. Oh, fuck you. Oh, God, I'll beat you. No, because the more you try to physically, unless you're pulled into a fight, then you have to defend yourself. But if you're not initially pulled into a fight, don't fight it. Don't think yourself running away, because the more that you try to fight it, the harder it's going to be to get away from that pull towards the light or towards the people telling you to come on. So don't fight it. However, if you encounter beings of these people that's telling you to come on, or the people in front of the light, or beings additional to the people in front of the light, people telling you to come on, if they're trying to fight with you, then by all means defend yourself. This is what my character in my novel, August Cameron, this is what he did. Oh, he was strong. He ain't pulling me into shit. And so this is what you have to do. You have to defend yourself. But if you are not initially being pulled into a fight to get you to come towards them or get you to come towards the light, do not fight it. That's not the way you do it. Okay. And while you're moving away from them or from the light, you can also say, I'm sovereign. I'm sovereign. I'm an example of freedom, and you can't harm freedom. You can say all of that. Okay. Now, once you are moving away from the light or away from the people that's telling you to come on, you will see a grid. And this grid will be a fuzzy barrier either in front of you or above you. And in that grid, you'll see holes. And the holes will look like Swiss cheese. You have to use your thoughts and use your attention to move through one of those holes. Once you move through one of those holes, you are going to see the universe, Paroma, as it really is. And you will be truly interdimensional, which means you can travel here, there, everywhere. When you see this universe, it's going to be a much larger universe than you are used to seeing. And the reason why it's going to be a much larger universe than what you're used to seeing is because you're going to be outside of the grid. You're not going to be any programmed meat suit body anymore. And so with you being outside the grid, you're going to be meeting the universe as a pure ISB. Okay? Now, what you experience outside the grid, it can be overwhelming and impressive. You're going to be, oh my God, wow, this is so overwhelming. I don't know what to do. That's normal because it's the first time you're seeing the universe as it really is. Wes Penray calls it the KHAA. And it's going to be very different. It's not going to be anything negative, but it's going to be very different than what you're used to seeing as far as the universe is concerned. While you're in that space, you're going to be able to see the space war that is going on in the solar system. And there is a space war that is going on. Just like how you all think of the movie Star Wars, it is a real war that is going on in space. You're going to see it. You're going to see the soldiers that are fighting in the space war. These soldiers are going to be fighting in these other dimensions, and you're going to see all of this, and you're going to have access to seeing all of this. And for those who say, oh my God, this is absolutely ridiculous, don't go through the light. Don't go with those who are telling you to come on, and I guarantee you this is what you're going to see. You're going to see this. This is facts. Many remote viewers have even seen this when they have done remote viewing. Remote viewing is when you can go and your body is sitting in a chair, but you're traveling elsewhere. Your ISB is traveling elsewhere to be able to see and take. They have seen this. Okay. Now, as an ISB, you are now free to go more or less anywhere. There are, believe it or not, in this universe that you're seeing, that you will be seeing, there are universities, which are certain star systems that work just as universities do here on Earth. You can go there and explore what they have to offer, see if it interests you. But, or you can also just decide to stay where you are and decide what you want to do and what you want to learn from, the universities that are sitting in front of you. If you want to learn, like say, for example, how to build interdimensional spacecrafts, then you would think yourself to a university that teaches how to build interdimensional spacecrafts. And you will nano travel there, which means using your thoughts and intention to travel, using your thoughts and attention to travel throughout the universe. And it's immediate. It's not like it takes seconds. It's immediate. Okay. And to be honest about it, there are a few humans who are able to nano travel. And Wes Penray, who again is a researcher into all of this, he knew of one. And again, I say the word human because this is the word that you all recognize, but they're not humans, ISBs. It takes a little learning process for me as well. ISBs. There are a few ISBs who can nano travel, and Wes Penray knew one of them who had a serious car accident. And after having a car accident, he gained the ability to nano travel. And he told Wes that ISBs have nothing to worry about, and that once the ISB is outside of the body, they automatically know how to nano travel. Nano travel is getting there from one place to another by thoughts and attention immediately. Okay. Now, once you decide, I want to go to this university or I want to go to that university in the universe, you will meet with star beings, and these star beings will ask you what you wish to do. And if your aurora is open, they will already know what you wish to do because you and that star being will be communicating telepathically. But if your aurora is closed, then they won't know. Maybe your aura is closed because you're afraid to open it up or you're protecting your thoughts. well, then they won't know and you won't be communicating telepathically. Okay. Once they are told of what you wish to do at that university, they will advise you whether you qualify or not. And if you don't qualify, you can ask them where you should go to eventually qualify for their dimension of learning. If you don't want to go to any universities, you may just want to travel around in the universe and explore before you decide to find, your new home where you're going to, stay put at, right? Again, all of this is done through thoughts and intention, which equals nano travel, which will be done immediately. Now, here's something that you can also do once you get to this free universe. My character in my novel, The Summerland, August Cameron, that's out of all the characters, he's one of my favorite. He did this in the novel, The Summerland. He created what he called a free universe afterlife realm. He called his emoji. Okay. And you can do the same thing. You can create in the free universe your own realm. Whatever you want that realm to be, a house on the beach, a small town to live in, a big city, a cottage, a rural farmhouse in the mountains, whatever. If you want to live in a lavish mountain and drive a Lamborghini, you can do it. You just have to use your thoughts and intention to bring into manifestation the realm that you want to live in. This is the ability to create that I was talking about earlier. We have that ability. Archons do not. We have the ability to create realms. So you can create whatever realm you want to live in. You can also think up using your thoughts and intention whomever you wish to live with you in this realm. Family, friends, living, deceased and living. Even living family members who are still down here and here in the free universe, you can use your thoughts and intentions to say, I want to create a version of them up here so I can live with them up here. And it will happen. That one guy or girl you always had a crush on, manifest your own version of them right there in that realm. I mean, anything you want, you can manifest in that realm. All you have to do is use your thoughts and intention to manifest them in your realm, and they will be there. And not only will they be there, they will function on their own as their own walking, talking, thinking, and behaving Isby in that realm. Similar to what you saw if you all watch Star Trek. There was a character named Q. He did something like that, similar to that, okay? But you have to be careful about what you think of at the same time, because if you're not careful, you can use your thoughts and intention to create a hell for yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, like, for example, down here, if you want a sandwich, you have to go to the kitchen, get out the bread, the mayo, the cheese, the lettuce, the bologna, the hot sauce. For me, I like hot sauce in my sandwiches. And you make your sandwich. It's a process. However, in the afterlife, whatever you think up manifests instantly. Don't blame me. Don't judge me for liking hot sauce in my sandwich. But in the afterlife, whatever you think up, it manifests instantly. So in the afterlife, if you want a sandwich, automatically it appears within less than a second. Where down here is a process. So when you get to the afterlife and you get to the free universe, if you think up something fearful, that fear will immediately manifest. If you think up something about hell, like you feeling like, or you thinking that you've gone to hell, or that you're in hell, immediately it will manifest. The vision of hell, burning lake of fire, all of it. If you think of something negative, immediately something negative will manifest. So you really have to be careful with your thoughts and intentions in the free universe, and even in the afterlife period. Even when you get into when you're doing astral projection, you have to be careful, because you can think up a real hellish environment with hellish monsters for yourself. Now, with that being said, in this free universe, you will also meet up with other Isbys. And if they want you to come with them, you can tell them, okay, and then you go with them. And then if you don't want to go with them, in a polite manner, not to be rude, no, I'm not going with you. In a polite manner, just say, no, I don't think I want to. I'm going to just stick on my own right now. You don't have to join them. What you need to do when you encounter other Isbys in that free universe, even though it's a free universe, even though it's the universe that's new to you, you feel out their energies and you trust your intuition first when dealing with them. If you are still uncertain, ask them where they came from, why they want your company, and always shield yourself. Throughout the universe, shield yourself with a golden aura or protection shield. Again, the character in my novel, August Cameron, he was good with making shields of protection around himself. This is how you protect yourself from those who wish to do you harm. And you can have a shield or a golden aura around yourself by, again, using what? Thoughts and intentions. But make sure that your shield or your aura doesn't have any holes in it. And so that's how you navigate after the Isby comes out of the body. That's how you escape the reincarnation trick. That's how you make sure you do not come back down here again. That's how you do it. Now, in preparation for your physical death, which everybody's going to die. Everybody on this earth is going to die. Everybody on earth, their bodies, their shells are going to stop working. So how you can prepare leading up to that, so that when you do step out of the shell, your Isby will be ready to say, no, thank you, screw the light, screw the reincarnation trick, I'm not coming back down here. How you can prepare to have that type of mindset is you have to start doing things now. I like to call it Isby work. You have to start doing your Isby work. Number one step, the first step in doing your Isby work is facing your fear. Anything that you're afraid of, dogs, insects, or whatever, you need to practice every day facing your fears, because when your Isby comes up out of the meat suit and you come face to face with Enki disguised as the Messiah and the Archons disguised as your loved ones, and after you turn away from the light, well, they know that when you turn away from the light, you're saying no to them. They may decide to say, all right, we'll put her or put his fears on her. If you're afraid of spiders, as you're turning away from the light, you could have a bunch of spiders crawling on you. All of that is to scare you into going with them. But if you have faced your fears, you can see those spiders and say, oh, please, whatever, I'm not, I ain't got time for that. You can do that. So you have to start facing your fears. If you're afraid of spiders, watch videos of spiders. If you're afraid of dogs, start watching videos of big rabid dogs. I mean, not rabid dogs, but big dogs. Get around a dog, a friendly dog now, that someone who has a big dog. Get around them and start confronting your fears. If your fear is of heights, carefully and safely start confronting that, so that when you cross over, Enki and all those with him cannot use your fear to get you to go with them. The next thing you need to do is meditation. Meditation helps a lot. Meditation helps to keep your intention and your focus sharp and strong. It helps to keep your Isby calm, so that when you do cross over, whatever the Archons and Enki throws your way, you'll be able to remain calm with your thoughts and intentions sharp and strong. I have to give kudos to the character in my novel, August Cameron. He was very good with this. At first he wasn't, but then as the story went on, he was very good with keeping his Isby strong but calm. And this is how he was able to get over a lot of the things that he was faced with. Meditation helps that a lot. Meditation also helps in what is called maladaptive daydreaming. Now, let me explain. If you listen to NT-controlled doctors and therapists, because that's exactly what they are, they'll tell you that maladaptive daydreaming is not normal and that it's a disorder. They're telling lies. This is all wrong. Maladaptive daydreaming is normal and it is not a disorder. Maladaptive daydreaming is very good when in thinking of the realm you wish to go to when you enter the afterlife and when you escape the reincarnation trick. You should practice maladaptive daydreaming very, very vividly during meditation and during certain parts of your day. When you're sitting around the sofa, practice it. Doctors tell you that maladaptive daydreaming is not normal and a disorder to keep people from doing it and to keep people from discovering that they have the ability of creation. They have the ability to create realms and worlds outside of this one. It's also good, maladaptive daydreaming is good to keep us, our creation ability strong, but they don't want us to practice maladaptive daydreaming, because if we practice it, we will realize and know that we are creator gods. Enki and his puppets and all those with him, they don't want us to know that. I have created an entire realm myself during maladaptive daydreaming, where I've even done it during astral projection, and I have created a beautiful realm, just like my character August Cameron. This is when I say the character August Cameron, I put a lot of the things in me within that character. And this is what I've done. I've created a beautiful realm, and that's where I'm going to go to once I leave this matrix. And so there's nothing wrong with maladaptive dreaming. It helps to keep your creating ability, your creation ability, your creative abilities strong. I have built in my realm houses and businesses, and I have already decided what activities I want to have happen there, who I want to live with in that realm with me. And so maladaptive daydreaming and doing it during astral projection and meditation is very good. It's good because before you even enter the afterlife, you have a plan of where you want to go upon turning away from the reincarnation trick, what the place you want to go to looks like, who you want to be there with you in that realm. And, it's the best tool. So this is what I would highly suggest as well. And then a lot of times when life gets too tough down here and you want to escape, well, then you can go to maladaptive daydreaming and go right to that realm and relax. Another thing that character August Cameron did in the novel, whenever he wanted to get away, he would go to his realm, which he created, and he would just relax. And so you can even do that during astral projection. You can escape from everything that's going on down here for a few hours. And so it helps you get through the days that are rougher than others for you. And you can even visit your realm during your sleep. So that's one thing I would highly suggest. Practice maladaptive daydreaming. Practice astral projection. The next thing you need to do is astral projection and lucid dreaming. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to practice those two. They are great to practice. They're great to do because it prepares you to know how it feels for your ISB to be out of the body. You can practice how to move around outside of your body, how to use your thought, attention, and manifestation, and more. And I don't know if you all know this or not, and I want to say this before I really get to the ending of this video. X-Men, the movies, the Marvel movies, the characters in those movies, they have what people call superpowers. What it would probably surprise people to find out is that those same superpowers, abilities that you see in the X-Men and Marvel movies, we ISBs, we have those same powers. We have those same abilities. I know it may sound weird and strange and unbelievable, but we do. This is why the entertainment industry, which works hand in hand with Enki, this is why they put that in there. They have to tell you a little bit of the truth, but in hidden form. Truth in art. You have those same abilities. We can shapeshift, teleport, levitate. We have the ability of telepathy. We have the ability of mental implantation. We have the visibility ability. We have pyrokinesis, telekinesis. We can create shields to protect ourselves from archons and Enki. We have so many abilities that it isn't even funny. Fire from our hands, that is a real ability. We cannot practice it. We cannot. It's hard to use here because they are in this realm, because there are so many blockages that makes it hard for us to bring those abilities forth here. However, in the afterlife, those abilities come through naturally. And it's completely possible to practice using these abilities during astral projection. And you should practice them. Practice bringing them forth and using them during astral projection, so that when you do cross over to the afterlife and are threatened by the archons and Enki with a fight, you'll know how to use those abilities to defend yourself, so you don't get tricked and or pulled into coming with them into the reincarnation trick. Now, I highly suggest that before you do astral projection, however, create a protection shield around you. Do not just jump into astral projection unprotected, because while you cannot die, I don't give a darn what new age will say, oh, you can die during astral projection. No, you can't. No one has ever died during astral projection. This is all lies. You cannot die during astral projection, but you can be harmed. You can be brutally harmed. And in order to prevent from being harmed, you have to put a protection shield around yourself. You can go online and find out through searching how to create a protection shield around me before astral projection. Create that around you before you even attempt to do astral projection, so that you will be protected from being harmed and attacked. Now, the last thing you need to do, well, the second to last thing you need to do, the first to last thing you need to do, is try your very best to keep your vibration high, so that Enki and his archons cannot feed off of your loose energy. Listen to affirmations. Affirmations keeps your energy up throughout the day. And if you have to listen to the affirmations 3 or 4 times a day, do so, because it keeps you from emitting feelings of depression, sadness, anger, fear, worry. And there are affirmations that will help you have a stronger love and belief in yourself. Affirmations that help you to control your anger as much as possible throughout your day. Affirmations to help you with sadness. You can find them on YouTube definitely, and perhaps even BitChute. Listen to them daily, and if needed, multiple times a day. It really helps. Again, you're not going to be perfect. It's not like you're never going to have these negative emotions. But whenever you have them, these affirmations are going to help curb those feelings as much as possible. Even doing meditation can help curb those emotions. There are also alpha and beta and even theta waves that can help with that as well. But it's best to get, now if you're going to get the alpha, beta, or theta waves, get the ones without the background music. Because you don't need the background music. You just need to hear the waves, the beats of the waves. That's what you need to get. But they can help in curbing those negative emotions, so that Enki and all those with them can starve as much as possible. Okay. Lastly, research as much as possible about the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory. Spend days and hours watching videos, reading websites, books, just as I have. Learn everything you can about it, because that's what the archons and Enki doesn't want. They don't want you to have that awareness, that knowledge. That awareness and that knowledge is what's greatly going to help you leave this prison planet and escape the reincarnation trick. Now, sure, you can go to the movies, go to different outings. I do it all the time. But with a lot of the free time that I have, and what you should be using with a lot of your free time, is researching and learning. Because believe it or not, time is short. We don't have a lot of time to do this as we work. And time is speeding up, in case you haven't noticed. So we have to learn everything we need to know as much as possible. Make sure also that you're learning from the right people. Again, anybody can talk about the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory. We see a plethora of them on YouTube. A lot of them are nothing but a bunch of hogwash. They're in it for attention, money, subscribers, viewers. You make sure that you're listening to the right people. Wes Penn Ray is one of them. Heidi Mikowski is another one. there are those who are not in it for the right reasons. So you have to really use your knowledge and awareness to know which ones are the right ones and which ones aren't. If you have any questions, ask me. I will give you as much information that I can about what I know. My email address is in the YouTube description of my bio. You can look for it there, because the goal should be for you, as it is for me, for Enki and his archons to lose and lose big. That is my goal, for them to lose and lose big, because I've heard some people say, well, you can't hate Enki. I do, because I hate him because I know that he is evil, and I know that he wants the very worst for us. And so that should be your feeling as well, that you hate Enki enough that you are going to make sure that he loses in every way when it comes to you and you're leaving this matrix. Also in your research is learning how to use your words. Believe it or not, words are spells, and they do have power. And so like when you use the phrase good morning, you need to stop saying that. I know it may sound silly to stop saying that. Oh, that's stupid, but it's not stupid. You have to stop saying good morning, because when you say good morning, what you are saying is that you are in a state of mourning, mourning. It could be you mourning the fact that you have to go and slave yourself on another job, or you mourning over having to pay rent or the mortgage or the bills, mourning over your low self-esteem, your feelings of depression or lack of self-worth or a bad relationship or whatever's not going right in your life. You're putting a spell onto your ISB for your ISB, which is you, to be in a good state of mourning, mourning, for the entire day. And we know that mourning, being in a state of mourning, is something that is of low vibrational energy. When you are mourning something, you are in a low vibrational energy, and that low vibrational energy causes you to emit loose energy, thus feeding Enki and his archons. So instead of saying good morning, you need to start saying grand rising, which is more powerful and more positive. When you find something funny, I've heard people say, oh, I'm dead. What you are doing is you are declaring that you are dead, which gives power to Enki and his archons, because even after physical death, the Isbis themselves aren't dead. They are very much alive. Death is of low vibrational loose energy, and that is something that should not be connected to you. So if it's something that's funny, just say it's funny, or I'm laughing. Stop saying I'm dead. When you do something wrong or bump into someone, you say, I'm sorry. You shouldn't say that either, because what you are essentially saying is that you are a sorry person. You are essentially insulting and cursing yourself and putting the feeling into your ISB existence that you are a sorry person. As a result, before you know it, you'll go around actually being a sorry person. You'll start acting pathetic and pitiful, which again is a low vibrational energy, which emits loose energy. And with you acting pathetic and pitiful, it's going to, again, cause Enki to feed off of that loose energy. And then on top of that, you'll be looked at by others as undesirable to even want to be around, because you're acting pathetic and you're acting pitiful. So instead of saying, I'm sorry, say, I apologize, or my apologies. In that way, you're not cursing yourself. When you say you're blessed, what you are essentially saying is be less. Be less than what you are. And to be less than what you are is to not be genuine to who you are. So instead of saying I'm blessed, say I'm gifted, or I have been gifted with a lot of things. Instead of using the word weekdays, use the word working days. Because when you say weekdays, think about it. What you are saying is you are W-E-A-K, week, and you are in a days, D-A-Z-E, weekdays. You are saying that there are days when your ISB is and will be weak, and There are days when your ISB is and will be in a daze. And being weak and being in a day, well, scratch that. Being in a daze means you are in a trance-like spell. So essentially, you're putting a spell on your ISB, which is you, to be in a trance-like spell from Monday through Friday. That will make you, the ISB, utterly weak, and as a result, powerless. And if you are weak and powerless, what happens from that? Loose energy gets emitted, and it gets fed to Enki because your ISB is not strong. It's weak. It's powerless. And so instead of you saying weak days, say working days. Okay? Say working days. Because when your ISB is weak and powerless, not only are you emitting loose energy, you are in a state that gives way for Enki and his archons to come in and impute thoughts in your mind that will cause you to behave in a way for that loose energy to be emitted. Okay? The same thing goes when you attach that phrase to family and friends. You're putting that same spell and affirmation on them. So instead of saying, oh, I work weekdays, or my kids attend school on the weekday, or my kid attends school on the weekdays, you're putting that same spell, that same badness on them. Use the word working days. The same goes with weekend. What you're saying and affirming to yourself is that on Saturdays and Sundays, your ISB is weekend, which with it being weekend, with your ISB being weekend, it is basically powerless, which again gives way for Enki and his archons to come in and impute thoughts in your mind that will cause you to behave in a way where you will emit loose energy, which feeds Enki and his archons, all because your ISB is weekend during Saturday and Sunday. So stop saying, man, I can't wait for the weekend, or this weekend, blah, blah, blah. Instead say this, I can't wait for the mini break, or this mini break, or I can't wait for Saturday and Sunday, or Saturday or Sunday, or I can't wait for the 2-day vacation coming up. Yes, the sentence is longer, but you're not cursing yourself. You're not cursing your ISB. The word job, those who don't know, the word job means just over broke. So every time you say, I'm going to my job, what you're saying is, I'm going to be just over broke. Stop using the word job. Find any other word, employment. Find some other word, but don't use job. Don't use occupation either, because you're saying you're going to have your mind occupied by being a slave. See, I'm telling you, it's deep, but it's real. I would rather use the word employment. Television. I'm watching television. What you are saying is that you are watching a screen that is telling a lie to your vision, your eyes. Your eyes is being told a lie. I'm watching the box. I'm watching the box. Because when you say I'm watching the television, that's a curse in and of itself. Even though, because I barely watch television. I watch television sometimes, but it's not a lot. I've drastically cut back. But if you're going to, I'm not going to judge you for watching television. Everybody does. But if you're going to watch it, don't use words that curses your vision by saying, I'm watching the television. In a way, that's you speaking to your ISB for the eyes that are attached to your ISB to be told a lie. I'm watching the box. Follow. I follow this person on Twitter or Facebook or what have you. Stop using the word follow. You should never follow someone. You should you can say, I take inspiration from them on Twitter, Facebook, or what have you, or the blue sky, but never follow, because think of the word follow. An ISB should never fall low. If an ISB falls and the ISB falls low, that in and of itself is a negative vibrational mindset, which brings forth what? Loose energy. Stop calling yourself parents. Parents means that you are a pair and you are renting a child. So you are declaring to your ISB self that child is not yours. Say, we are the mother and father of that child. We are the watchers or the guardian of the child, or what have you, or the birther. But I don't know. Find a word, create a word, but stop using the word parents, because parents means a couple who rent their child or children until the child is returned to the state. So that means that child is not yours. And then a lot of people who call themselves parents, they wonder why the children get abducted. Well, you called yourself a parent. That child is not yours. So the child is not yours. The child was taken. Apologies to say, but that's what it means. Awake. I'm awake. What you are saying, you are basically putting your Isby into the death mode. You are awake. Your Isby is awake. Your Isby is really dead, because a wake. What is a wake? A wake is a gathering that takes place before a funeral. What is a funeral for? Someone's death. So you are putting the curse of death upon your Isby by you saying, I'm awake. Earn. I earn a living. What is an earn? Think of that word. Yes, it may be spelled E-A-R-N, but the word is pronounced earn, just like an urn of a what? A urn is a vessel that holds the ashes of the dead. I earn a living. I am dying to get money. And a lot of people have died on the job. What did they say about their jobs? No, I am not earning a living. I am not earning a living. I am making a living. Stop using the word earn. You're putting a curse on yourself. So you really have to be careful of the words you use, or else you may not realize it, but you'll be cursing yourself and affirming negative low vibrational energies on yourself that you didn't even realize that you were doing. Okay. So I would suggest everyone research into what words they use. Go online, find out which word is okay to use and what's not. Now, with all of that being said, let me get to this conclusion. I have written a book, as I stated at the beginning of my video. It is called The Summerland, and it took about 1.5 years to write. And it came from hearing not only my experiences, it came from my experiences as well, but it came from hearing this fascinating story from a friend of mine named Astro Rocker, that's what he goes by, about how he astral projected to the realm Isbys are taken to before they get reincarnated. I later astral projected to that same realm and saw the same things. And so, but before I had my own experience with that, I talked to him and I heard his experience, and then I had my own experience. And after having my own experience, I had a relative who also had the same experience. And so I went to my friend Astro Rocker and said, this would make a great story. I have to get this into a story. And so I was already a writer. And so I started writing the story. And in it, I added a lot of the real life experiences that I went through with my own family and with my own self. Poverty, homelessness, grief, believing in God, Christianity, and then later being angry at God, and then hating God, which is where I am now, because God is Enki, the demiurge. And I even chronicled how the becoming of a monotheist, being a monotheist, which is knowing that God is evil and unworthy to be worshipped. And I have topics in there, the reincarnation trick and all of its connecting factors. And at the end of me writing the story, I saw that I had created indeed a beautiful, powerful story. And I crafted the characters off of real life people that truly inspired me. They know who they are. I have them in the acknowledgement section of my book. And they inspired me and they motivated me, especially during some very rough times in my life. However, I do have to say, one of the characters in the novel I've talked about a few times here in this video, August Cameron. And despite him being crafted off of a real life person, I will admit I put a lot of my personality and qualities within that character, to the point where when I see the pictures of the person who I based off of that character, I don't see that person, I see myself, because even though I crafted that character off of the person who did inspire me, but I crafted the character off of that person, but the personalities are mine. The likes, dislikes, the emotions, the feelings are mine. So you know, his persona, his strength, his determination, his feelings towards Enki and Enki's malevolent entities, his ability to motivate and inspire people. I mean, that's all me, and that's one of my favorite characters in the novel. But anyway, I'm very, very proud of this story. I've worked very hard on it. I even created a listening track for the novel so people can listen to the music that inspired me to write the novel. And I could have just written a book just telling people about the reincarnation trick and just about how Earth is a prison planet and all of that. But I felt there are already so many books written on that as it is. I wanted to do something different. And so what I did was write it as edutainment, where it's educating and entertaining at the same time. It's telling realistic stories of people who all find themselves coming face to face with the idea of monotheism, God being evil, God being the demiurge, God allowing suffering, the idea of the reincarnation trick, and the prison planet theory. So I did this so people can read the story and identify with what the characters are going through, and as a result, it makes them better understand the idea of monotheism and the reincarnation trick theory and the prison planet theory. So it will be released on December 10th and on Amazon on paperback. I keep saying paperback. And on Amazon in paperback is for $14. I set it that low because the main goal for me is for people to read this story and get the message within it. I'm not concerned about the money. I couldn't set it any lower on Amazon. I wanted to set it for like $5 or $6 on Amazon in paperback, but I couldn't. But I wanted to set it as low as possible because we are in a day and age now where money is tight for people. People don't have a lot of money. They don't have $20, $30 to spend on something other than bills and essential living things. So I try to set it low so people could afford to buy it. So I also have a website. It's called thesummerland.net. Let me spell it. TheSummerland.net. And on there, you'll find out more about the novel, The Summerland, the characters within it. There are photos. The listening track is there. And there are even videos where people can find out more about the reincarnation trick. There's a message board. People can connect and discuss among themselves the reincarnation trick, monotheism, prison planet theory, and much more. My contact information is also there as well. People want to get in contact with me, ask me questions. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky, YouTube, and all of those links are on the Summerland website as well. So this is what I wanted to bring. I did an interview discussing these things, but I wanted to do a separate video where I explained it in more fuller detail. Please, people, share this video so people can really get the truthful knowledge, because there's a lot of crap out there about the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory. But share this so people can really get the real truth, so that they absolutely have no doubt of what they need to do when they come up out of the body. Thank you for listening.